Strange Block Beats.
If I had to look you in the eyes, I don't think I could handle it. Tryna ask for it. It's not about me or my pride. I'm just tryna abandon it. Can't take a risk. Hands and knees shaking, voice nearly breaking, calling out your name. You know my heart and it's tearing me apart. I just hope you understand. Gotta fight myself each and every day. I keep getting in my own way. So if I fall before I'm taken, will you pick me up and tell me you gon' make it out? Tell me you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. You gon' make it out. Father, can you please forgive me? I ain't been my best. Father, please forgive me. Abba, can you heal my spirit? I'm in need of help. I know that I'm scandalous, handle this, been hurting you, and still I'm blessed. Time for strength. I'm done looking back, that's my old ways. I'll be moving on like a drag race. Take my hand, show me where the pathway. Fight myself each and every day. I keep getting in my own way. So if I fall before I'm taken, will you pick me up and tell me you gon' make it out? Tell me you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. Tell me you gon' make it out. You gon' make it out. Yeah, you gon' make it out. Father, can you please forgive me? You gon' make it out. Can you heal my spirit? I'm in need. You gon' make it out. Can you please forgive me? You gon' make it out. 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 You gon' make it out.
Big salute, family. This your brother Kjudah, giving all praise to the Most High Yah and faith in Yahshua HaMashiach. And to the Israelite family worldwide, I say peace and blessings. I say big salute to the CUC family, the FOPE family, and my elders at Nazarene Hebrew Institute of Technology, and all my beloved brothers and sisters in the chat. I got my brother Sham with me tonight, family. And as you see the title, Kjudah and Sham, Pope Francis died, family. Is Peter Turkson the next pope? And Trump converts to Judaism. Talk to him, Sham.
Yeah, shalom, family. Most High bless. Thank y'all for tuning in as always. Shalom to all the mods, the whole family out there. Shalom. Welcome.
Already. So, family, I know a lot of y'all paying attention to the media, paying attention to social media, and the thing that's going on in the world. And our job today is to paint this picture for you so you can see. Not only is we living in the last days, this is also the last generation. This the generation that will see the Messiah according to prophecy. Because Yahshua say, when you see all these things, and all these things are happening simultaneously, family. Right now, racial tensions are high with the Carmelo Anthony case. Donald Trump converted to Judaism in 2017. Pope Francis just passed away. Now they are looking for the next pope. And me and Sham not too long ago was saying that we believe the next pope is going to be a melanated person that have our skin complexion. Don't come from our stock, because they ain't finna let no so-called African American be no pope. So these are two men from the sons of Ham who are two candidates, one by the name of Robert Shar and the other one by the name of Peter Turkson. Now they leaning more to Peter Turkson, and I'm going to show you a video why. But like I said, family, if you look at, even when you look at Donald Trump with the development of he trying to take over Gaza, I'm going to give you what the scriptures say or what the stranger's going to do before we even go back home. What he going to use these people for? The same thing they used us for, how we develop their country for them to enjoy all that we see. The same thing going to happen with us. Donald Trump is not taking over Gaza and doing these things to develop these things for themselves. The Most High is going to use the heathens to build up things for you, family. The Most High playing checkers, man. I mean chess. They playing checkers. My bad. The Most High playing chess. They playing checkers. He using Trump to make developments for our people, not for them. They gonna soon get kicked out. You gonna soon move in. So sit back, enjoy the show, family, because it's gonna be a good one for you. Let's get it. The first thing me and my brother gonna do, we're gonna deal with Donald Trump first, and then we'll move our way to the Pope and to other things. I want to deal with Donald Trump first. Let me show you what these Jewish people are calling Donald Trump. Let me show you what they are calling this man. Let me open up this window. We're gonna deal with him first. Nothing is happening by accident. We are living in a time where we are saying all these things at one time. They're not happening like 1 year from here, then another year from there. No, all at the same time. Then he said, look up. Your redemption draweth nigh. Family, I'm telling you, read the scriptures. We living in that time. We living in a time when the book of Daniel is open. He said it will be unsealed in the time of the end. We living in a time of the end. We living in a time that the man of sin will be revealed. We living in a time that the third temple is being erected. We living in these times. They are all happening simultaneously, family. Get your house in order and understand you are the generation. I just can't tell you when. I can't tell you what day. I can't tell you what month. But you are the generation according to prophets. Okay, let me open up this window. Anything you want to say, Sham, before I open up this window? Talk to him.
Not yet. Just go ahead. I'm just waiting so we can get started.
Yes, sir. Got you. So we're gonna deal with Trump first, y'all. Listen to this, people. And like I said, shalom to everybody coming in. Many blessings to you. Let's get it.
I also strongly believe that the Gaza Strip, which has been a symbol of death and destruction for so many decades and so bad for the people anywhere near it, and especially those who live there, and frankly, who's been really very unlucky. It's been very unlucky. It's been an unlucky place for a long time. Being in its presence just has not been good, and it should not go through a process of rebuilding and occupation by the same people that have really stood there and fought for it and lived there and died there and lived a miserable existence there. Instead, we should go to other countries of interest with humanitarian hearts, and there are many of them that want to do this, and build various domains that will ultimately be occupied by the 1.8 million Palestinians living in Gaza, ending the death and destruction and, frankly, bad luck. This can be paid for by neighboring countries of great wealth It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12. It could be numerous sites, or it could be one large site. But the people will be able to live in comfort and peace, and we'll make sure something really spectacular is done. They're going to have peace. They're not going to be shot at and killed and destroyed like this civilization of wonderful people has had to endure. The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of.
Understand what's going on, Israel. Understand what's going on, Israel. The reason why the people of Palestine got to move, because their next door neighbors are the ones who are causing this destruction to their homes. But Donald Trump not going to say that, because Donald Trump has converted to Judaism in 2017. So Donald Trump is on the side of who? The Jewish people. But the Palestinians, they don't belong in the land either. Gaza don't belong to them. Gaza don't belong to the Jewish people. The original inhabitants of Gaza was the Philistines. They had 5 cities called the 5 cities of the Philistines, dwelling by the Mediterranean Sea. In the time of the Judges and Joshua, Judah took over Gaza. So yes, do your development, Donald Trump, because you're not doing it for the Jewish people. You're not doing it for the United States of America. You're not doing it for the Palestinians. The Most High is using you heathens to build up our walls, so when we go back, he gonna give us houses we did not build, vineyards we did not build, the same thing we did for y'all. The Most High is playing chess, people. So all this about it, we're going to develop it, and it's going to be beautiful, and the United States going to own it. You can't own something that don't belong to you. That's not your inheritance. That's why he say a bastard should dwell in Ashdod. Ashdod is one of the 5 cities of the Philistines, people. A bastard is dwelling in Ashdod. They call it Jewish people and the Palestinians. That's not their land, family. So this my thing. If the land is insignificant, why are we worried about them fighting over a land that's insignificant? Let the Jewish people have it. Let the Palestinians have it. There's no significance to it. So why do the world care? Why do the world care, people? Because the land is significant, family. The whole area, the whole land from Syria to the Euphrates, from Gaza, from Arabia, all that land is significant to Yah. It don't got to be significant to you people who despise it, but it's significant to Yah. So he's going to use the heathens to build up your walls. You sure ain't going to build it up. You didn't did enough work. You didn't put in your time. You didn't pay your dues, family. What you gonna go home for and work harder than you already working now? Now he giving you peace. They gonna build up your walls, not you. Anything you want to say, Sham, before I play this video and continue?
Right, I agree 100%. It's time for them to be servants and handmaids. You know, we're gonna sit back, relax, and let them destroy each other. That's what we're gonna do.
Talk to them.
And go back into the wilderness, prepare ourselves for when the kingdom of heaven come, the Most High's kingdom.
That's right.
That's what we're gonna do.
Facts.
Of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job. do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Okay. Now, y'all see about the Gaza Strip. Let me show y'all this. It's going to make all the sense in the world. Let me show y'all this. Let me stop my screen. Let me open up my window again. I want to show y'all something. And then I'm going to go to the next video to show y'all what they calling Donald Trump. Yeah, that Ethiopian thing is false. I see the comment in the chat, but yeah, it's false. Now look, I want y'all to see this. And I'm about to just look at this picture being painted. It says that Trump says the U.S. will take over Gaza, right? The U.S. President Donald Trump has proposed taking ownership of the Gaza Strip and redeveloping it into the Riviera of the Middle East after resettling Palestinians elsewhere. Hold up. Well, what? Why you won't resettle the Jewish people elsewhere? But you're going to resettle the Palestinians elsewhere, but not the Jewish people. I tell them to go back home to Poland and Germany. Go back to Khazaria. Ashkenazi, go back home. Why y'all won't go back home? So I want you to see Lebanon. This belongs to you. I want you to see Syria. This is where your father Jacob was dwelling at, because the capital of Syria is what? Damascus, right? Israelites was dwelling there. The so-called West Bank. Why is it called the West Bank? Because it's west of the Jordan River right here. And here go the Gaza Strip, which used to belong to the Philistines, which was called the 5 cities of the Philistines, right? Now, if you look at all this area where these so-called Jewish people then took over land that don't belong to them, all the way down here to the Gaza Strip. And if you look at this little line right here, before you enter Egypt, this is that river Sahor I'm always telling y'all about, according to the Bible, called Wali El Arish, okay? All this territory belongs to you, family. These heathens then built up some beautiful places here for your benefit, because you got to go to the wilderness first. He going to plead with you. He going to take you home. You need somewhere to lay your head, family. So I want to thank these heathens. Thank these heathen, family.
Me too.
They built up some nice things. I'm talking about beautiful hotels and beautiful roads and lights and streets and beautiful commerce and markets. Family, this is for your benefit. Let Donald Trump develop the Gaza Strip. Because remember, Judah took over the Gaza Strip. Man, let me prove this. Go ahead, Sham. Say something so I can prove this real quick.
Yeah, I would like to thank them too for all the hard work and dedication that they're doing for the nation of Israel, the real Jews that have been suffering for hundreds of years. And finally, we're going to get some appreciation and some benefits. And, you know, we get to kick our feet up, get fed grapes and, you know, let the dogs out and run around and, you know what I mean, enjoy our children for once, you know, and kick it back and relax with the Messiah and learn many things that we need to know before we actually walk into the kingdom, you know, and become a productive people again, you know, in life, you know, and live righteously and serve the Most High Yah in righteousness, man. That's what it's all about.
Facts. This is the book of Judges, chapter 1 and verse 18, just to prove. And let me show another picture. Y'all see right here where it say Philistines? There used to be the 5 cities of the Philistines right here by the Mediterranean Sea. Now, I want you to look at all the land that I just showed you that Trump is trying to develop. This is all the territory that was given to our forefathers. All this land, everything that you see west to east. Let me say it again. West to east. It doesn't belong to them, family. So let them do what they doing. Thank y'all for developing all these places for the children of Israel's return. So we thank you. So let me show you another map to prove that it belongs to Judah. There you go. These are the 5 cities, but look what territory is in now. Gaza, Judah. And all these little green dots that you see was us giving the Levite cities in our territory. And look at Judah. Look at Gaza. It's in the territory of Judah. Judah. Can I prove it? Judges 1 and verse 18. Donald Trump is not developing this for no reason, y'all. The Most High playing chess. This is Judges. The world just don't understand, but we understand because we all are the children of Israel. They thinking like pat Donald Trump on the back, like he doing something great for them. No, partner, he doing that for us because y'all making him do it, putting it into his mind, his will.
Remember what he said when they tried to assassinate him? He said the Most High, he said, God cut me alive because I got a purpose. It's something that he want me to do for the people, remember?
Yeah,
he said that out of his own mouth.
Yes, he did. This is Judges chapter 1 and verse 18. And it reads, and also Judah took Gaza with the coast thereof, and Escalon with the coast thereof, and Ekron with the coast thereof. What do y'all see on this map? It say Judah took Escalon. Here you go right here. Judah took Gaza. Here you go right here. And they go where a bastard should dwell in Ashdod. All this territory belonged to Judah. Who dwelling in Ashdod today? A bastard, family. A bastard. This is prophecy, people. This is prophecy. I'm getting the chills because the Most High word is cold, man. And exact and right. Perfect.
It's living like he said. The word is living and it's coming to fruition. Undoubtedly.
Facts. Facts, brother. So y'all see it with y'all eyes that the whole territory of Judah, that just like Judges 1:18 just said, that he took Gaza, he took Ashkelon, and even Ashdod is in the territory of Judah. Even Ekron is between Dan and Judah and Benjamin and Ephraim. This is all book. Now remember, Judah, the real Jerusalem is in the south. I got to keep iterating it because the Jewish people have put Jerusalem by the Mediterranean Sea. No, that's their Jerusalem, not the real Jerusalem. That's their Jerusalem, not the real. The real Jerusalem is desolate unto this day without an inhabitant. So how they dwelling in Jerusalem?
Facts.
How are they dwelling in Jerusalem when Jerusalem is desolate until this day without an inhabitant? So how are they dwelling in Jerusalem? Knowledge. Go ahead, Sham.
Right. They not actually dwelling in Jerusalem. They are in the land, but actually the real city of Jerusalem, they not dwelling in. Because you can't grow foods or any it won't grow crops or anything in Jerusalem. I tell you that the land will lay desolate, and the land will enjoy its Sabbath and all that stuff. So the land been in rest for many years. No vegetation, no growing anything or nothing in Jerusalem.
I just want to read this for the people, Sham, just to prove that the name was changed to Palestine. Now, this is about Yahshua, but it's a point in this that I want y'all to hear. This is from the last 2 million years. This is an encyclopedia that I have. This is page 87. It's called The Last 2 Million Years. It says the crucifixion of Yahshua by AD 30 did not end the Israelite resistance to the Romans' occupation. In 70, when the country was again in a state of revolt, Jerusalem, the holy city, became the core of the resistance to the Romans. Titus, the son of Emperor Vespasian, proceeded to lay siege to Jerusalem. The city fell, and the inhabitants were enslaved in their thousands and dispersed throughout the Mediterranean world. What is the Mediterranean world? It's where the Philistines was dwelling at, family. That's the Mediterranean world. This was the first dispersion, and worse was to follow. Continual insurrection and revolt against the Roman rule led to the total destruction of Jerusalem in 135. The city was renamed Aelia Capitolina, and all Jews was prohibited from entering it. a second and more important dispersion now took place, and the whole of Judea was renamed Palestine. By who? The Greeks. The Greeks, people. So I wanted to prove that our land was never called Palestine. Our land was never called the land of Canaan. It was called the promised land, or the land flowing with milk and honey. That's what it was called. Not Canaan and Palestine. So I just wanted to prove that. Now let's go back to Donald Trump and what they calling this man. Let's go to the next video. The man converted to Judaism in 2017. The Most High is using Donald Trump to fulfill his will and his plan. And the Jewish people jumping up and down like it's for your benefit. Man, y'all about to soon get kicked out. And you going back home. You going where you come from. You don't come from that land. You don't come from that area. You don't come from Israel. Let's get it. Here you go, family. Check this out.
Donald Trump converted to Judaism 2 years ago, according to White House official. There it is. That's his blog. He said, President Donald Trump converted to Judaism 2 years ago and joined Chabad Lubavitch Synagogue in New York City, according to a high-level White House official. Mr. Goldberg says the story has allegedly been held by CNN's editors for months, but is due to be released within the next few days. David Elias Goldberg, a fellow at the Jewish Center of Anti-Semitic Study, has also interviewed the White House source. According to the source, Trump was pushed by his daughter Ivanka and son-in-law.
That is not the wall from 70 AD. Let me say that again. That Wailing Wall, that is not the stones left from 70 AD. He said there will not be left one stone upon another. So where is this wall, this Wailing Wall? Where did this come from? It sure did not come from 70 AD. No stone was left. So this proves that, like Sham said, is in the area, but the real Zion is desolate. The real Zion is desolate. That temple was destroyed. And you got to ask yourself this. Where did Solomon build the temple? He built the temple on Mount Moriah. This not Mount Moriah. Where's this Wailing Wall coming from? This not Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah was north of Jerusalem. It was north of it.
And the Lord said, and I think in Luke or 21, where it says that when you see the armies compares Jerusalem, and it's going to make it desolate. So if it's desolate, how is it a wall there? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I'm gonna
so we going by what Scripture say.
Absolutely. And thank you for that, Sham, because I'm about to read it right now. This is Luke 21, and it's going to back up the last 2 million years too that I just read. See, the history bags up the Bible, and the Bible bag up the history. This is Luke 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall seek Jerusalem, can pass with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. I just read that the Israelites were scattered through the Mediterranean world. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there should be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and should be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem should be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now, when you look at the word trodden down of the Gentiles, did y'all know, if you do some research, they have made every land that was in Israel a national park. They treading the land, taking pictures, climbing all on top of rocks and swinging off of rocks. Yeah, they trampling it underfoot. Whether it's the land of Naphtali, the land of Issachar, the land of Gad, all our land have become national parks. Even Tel Aviv, the real Zion. Look at these heathens taking pictures and climbing all on top of things they shouldn't be touching on. They treading it underfoot, family. Not just total destruction of what the armies did, but also making our land a national park for their benefit. Something that's holy to our Elohim, they have made it something for monetary gain.
Yep, a house of merchant. And Yahweh said, my father's house should not be a house of merchant.
Absolutely.
Exactly what they doing.
Exactly what they doing. When you make some a national park, that means people pay to go to these sites, like going to the zoo. You pay to see the animals. It dawned on me, man, let me stop going to the zoo, man. Got these animals caged up like they had us caged up, and we just watching, looking at the lion just look miserable. The monkeys swinging on the trees just look miserable, kind of like how we miserable. So I stopped going to the zoo. Want to look at no animals being chained up, looking all miserable. Let's keep going. Watch what they call this man.
Jared Kushner to join the faith. At first, Trump resisted, stating it would threaten his base of evangelical Christian voters. However, he had a change of heart and officially converted in early 2017. The ceremony was held in private and closely guarded for nearly 2 years.
And you know why he did it,
Kjudah? To
political.
slowly release this information and
talk to him, Sham.
Yeah, it's all political. That's why he did it. Political. Because he know by doing that, it would gain him more power as well, too, and favor.
And favor. Yep.
By being a president and being one of them, that shows that he's on their side. And seeing that helps them even more. Because they're going to say, you's a fellow brother. So you got to do this. You got to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Now, I want y'all to really think about this. We are the children of Israel. The world know who we are, whether that's from the United Nations, everybody that sit in the United Nations, all nations are confederate. They know who we are. These people have perpetrated a fraud, and the Most High have allowed it to happen. He have allowed them to perpetrate a fraud. He have allowed it to happen. But it's a beautiful thing that he allowed it to happen. Why? Because they built up your walls. They built up many things for you for when you go home. So I'm not even mad about it, sad about it. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for what you have done for the children of Israel, because we have done enough. The Bible says he's going to give us peace. We're not going back home to work hard. We're going back home to sit under fig trees and enjoy tropical weather in the cool of the day. We going home to enjoy each other's company. We're not going home to break a sweat. That's what the strangers for. That's what the heathens for. Not us. Not us, family. So we going home to rejoice, to sing hallelujah to our Father and praises to our Father through our King Yahshua HaMashiach, who should sit on the throne in Zion and rejoice in his people. That's what we waiting on. So the Lord is playing chess. He used these heathens to fulfill his will. And Donald Trump gonna fulfill that will. Whatever y'all have Donald Trump doing, Yah is going to have them doing, because he set up kings and bring down kings. He orchestrate how it's going to go. Donald Trump don't run nothing. Yah run everything through his son, Yahshua HaMashiach.
By summer, it is expected Trump will fully address his new faith in an evening televised news conference. He is clearly the most pro-Israel president in the history of America. He's given Israel every single thing that they've wanted, and he's about to give them war with Iran.
You okay?
And so has he converted? So I want to show you one more article. This is, let me see if I can.
This is Times of Israel.
Yeah, the Times of Israel. This was published March 22nd, 2019. This is the Times of Israel. Trump, the first Jewish president of the United States.
Now, that's not us saying that. That's Times of Israel. Times of what nation? Israel.
So the people in Israel, that's an English-speaking newspaper in Israel, and that's what
Kjudah,
they read.
it's a repeat of history as well, because this go right back to Bel and the Red Dragon with Daniel, where he said the king converted to being a Jew.
Facts.
It's like you watching it all over again, because Trump is really considered a king when you think about it. He want to be a dictator, but he converted into the same faith that was that a Babylonian king during the time of Bel and the Red Dragon with Daniel? I believe, or whatever. Yeah, he converted into being a Jew in the book of Bel and Red Dragon.
Babylonian king. Facts. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, because Daniel was in the Babylonian captivity, and he was 2 years in the Medes and the Persians. So yeah, it was Babylonian captivity. Yep.
Facts. It's like history repeat itself in the scriptures, being played out all over again. Just a different nation.
A different nation. Absolutely, Sham. Just a different nation and a different time, my brother.
Exactly.
Yep.
First Jewish president of the United States.
And how did they qualify that, Rick?
They gave a list of things that he did for Israel.
First of one, of course, moving the embassy to Jerusalem.
That's right.
That was a big deal.
Then recognizing Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. He's the first sitting U.S. president to visit the Western Wall. They gave him credit for defeating ISIS. They gave him credit for rebuking the United Nations for when the UN criticized Israel. They credited him with closing the Palestinian office in Washington, D.C. And they said these things, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 things qualify Donald Trump to be named the first Jewish president of the United States.
And that's what the Times of Israel said.
Again, that was not David Duke's newsletter.
Right.
It's a Jewish-owned newspaper. And they're proclaiming Donald Trump to be the first Jewish president of the United States. So now when you look at this David Elias Goldberg saying that a White House insider told him that President Trump converted to Judaism 2 years ago.
Suddenly it doesn't sound so crazy, does it?
It's not too crazy. And that CNN knows about it, and CNN is sitting on the story and will be releasing it at some point.
It was history's darkest hour. Millions of innocent, wonderful, and beautiful lives, men, women, and children, were extinguished as part of a systematic attempt to eliminate the Jewish people. It was the most savage crime against God and his children.
We were so deeply moved to see that picture of you touching the stones of the wall. And may I say, we were deeply moved to see First Lady Melania Trump touching the stone on that wall, and equally moved when
Dog, this is like a movie script. Family, this is nothing but a movie script. These people come from Europe. When we got kicked out in 70 AD, everything was in proper standing for people to come in and just move into our gates. These people came in 1948. You also had the Balfour Declaration, made a state, carved out a state for themselves, called themselves after the land, the people of Israel, the Jewish people. Been lying for centuries, decades, centuries, claiming to be a people that they not. The whole world know these people are not the people, y'all. Why you think they didn't wrote books? You got people on BitChute, exposing these people how they come from Kjudah and Poland and Germany, Russian Jews, all kind of lies that these people have told for centuries. And the United States of America, just dumb and stupid, have bought into the lie, have funded these people, bagged these people up when they bombing other people. But guess what? Trump not stupid. The Jewish people not stupid. You go to war with Iran, you go to war with Russia. You go to war with Russia, you go to war with China. Russia, China, and Iran, oh, they buddies. And guess what? They're going to merge together in World War III. And it's going to be a 200 million man army. That's why the Bible say Russia is the big dog, everything of the Eastern Bloc. Russia is the big dog, everything east of that block beyond the Euphrates, east of the Euphrates. As Russia, he the big dog. He control all that on that Eastern Bloc. He the big dog. Then you got everything west of the Euphrates River, which America is going to be aligned with the West, which is the European Union. You think Donald Trump didn't want to go to war with Russia? You think the United States want to? Don't let these people fool y'all. Russia, China, and Iran. Why you think America don't try to bully Russia like they bully all these little small countries? Why you think America don't try to bully China like they do all these little small countries? Why they don't do Iran like that? They only bully people they know they can beat. They won't bully Russia. They won't bully Iran. They won't bully China. So don't let these Jewish people fool y'all, acting like they some big dogs.
Plus, Russia got that missile. What is it? USS Satan, something like that.
You better talk to me.
That's why.
Talk to me. Russia is in the Bible as the big dog of all his allies. Let's get it.
When we saw your daughter Ivanka and your son-in-law Jared do the same.
Okay, so let's just, what if it's true? What if it's true? What does that say to you, Doc?
That says to me there's been such a major shift in values in America. It's no longer Judeo-Christian values anymore. It's Judeo values now.
Yes.
So there y'all go, family. The Most High is playing chess. The Most High and Yahshua HaMashiach are moving the chess pieces on the board, and Yah will overcome in the end, and his people will be set back up in their own land, and the world already know who you are. That's why nations are coming now saying, we have inherited lies. Our fathers have taught us lies. You are the people of your Elohim. You are the people of God. You are the true children of Israel. The world know, family. We just trying to get our people to see what the world already know. But some gonna get it and some ain't gonna get it. Some gonna hearken, some ain't gonna hearken. Some gonna turn back, some ain't gonna turn back. We can't worry about that. We can't cast our pearls before swine. We got to keep going. Those who gonna hear, gonna hear. Those who gonna close their ears, gonna close their ears. We got to keep trucking. We got to keep trucking. Anything you want to add, Sham, before we go to the Pope? Because I just wanted to show y'all that from Gaza to Trump to the Jewish people to him convert to Judaism, this is all a play by Yah. Anything you want to add? Sham?
Facts. And I just, like, y'all, like I told y'all before, Kjudah told y'all before, we just got to keep watching, family. Watch for the prophecies. Watch what's happening. Like when we see certain things moving like this, we going to come speak on it because we don't want you to miss it. Because some people looking at this and it's like, and when I told Kjudah, I said, the Pope passed. And he told me, he was like, man, guess what they trying to do? I said, yep, bro, this got to be it. We just got to keep on watching because it's not odd to me. But I said it before, man. People have to understand the devil ain't who you think he is. Feel me? He going to be somebody who you think he not or you wouldn't think he was.
Talk to him.
You feel me? That's who Satan is. That's why he's the deceiver. You know what I'm saying? But you got to go back and think, man. If we're gonna use a intelligent mind, and we know how the Most High look when we read the descriptions in the scriptures, and he said Satan was an angel of light, right? The most beautiful angel out of all of them, right? You see what I'm saying, K. Judah?
Absolutely.
He was cast out, right? Kicked out of heavens, right? He wanted to be like the Most High. He wanted to sit in the Most High seat, right? He took what 1/3 of the church with him, right?
1/3.
So that means these angels, like Michael, the archangel, and many other Raphael and many other angels that's in the heaven, right? That they was made, right? Just like the sun was made, right? And then we all made in the Father image, right? Was these other nationalities of people, or was these black people?
Black people.
Exactly. So why would Satan himself be a white man?
Talk to me.
If he the devil, you feel me? Because he
Talk to
wouldn't be an unclean Edomite in the heavens, right? Why
Nope.
would the Lord have something like that around him? So
Excellent.
you gonna tell me a unclean white what they would call a Esau or Edomite would be in the heavens, and he's the most beautifulest person out of everybody, even over the Messiah, he's the most beautiful angel that they ever saw. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You telling me that's a white man? Make it make sense. If that's the truth, then bunnies can lay eggs. Make it make sense.
Sham. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We got one more video on Trump, and I want you to hear what the Jewish people are calling this man. And then we going to the Pope, because everything that's happening with the Pope, I'm telling y'all, man, the Most High moving to pieces, man. He ain't just die. The Most High setting the stage for the next one to come. And like Sham say, it's going to be somebody you wouldn't expect. And Satan going to embody this man. And he going to perform miracles and signs and wonders and make fire come down out of heaven. He going to do all type of things that if it was possible, he can deceive the very elect. He say if it was possible, but it ain't possible. But if it was. So that got to be somebody you wouldn't expect. Because we know Yahshua not a white man. We know the people not white. Can they deceive the very elect with a Caucasian man? No. No, it wouldn't work. Because we know the truth. All right, here y'all go. Check this out, y'all. This the third temple update.
It's an honor to be here with the first Jewish president of the United States.
300 years ago, he said, this will all.
A good question is, how do I get started trading? A better question is, how do I profit today?
Happen. The Messiah will arrive. The end times will begin. Now they're looking at Donald Trump. One of the rabbis illustrated how his name in the gematria, the numerology of his name, actually means Messiah. And something could happen overnight that could lead to the reconstruction of the temple.
Yes. He, I believe, is the Mashiach of Edom. See? And that's why I believe that the gematria of Donald Trump is gematria Mashiach ben David.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So
y'all heard him? I am the chosen one. Did y'all hear him? He chosen to do what? What y'all gonna tell him to do?
Yeah.
He ain't doing nothing of his own. Y'all is using Donald Trump to push his agenda forward, to push prophecy forward. See, Trump is giving these Jewish people the big head, because by Trump being on their side in the United States riding with them, they getting the big head. Because now they think they can bomb who they want to bomb, go to war with who they want to go to war with, do what they want to do to people. Because, oh, we got Trump on our side. He the Mashiach.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Sham.
No, I'm just agreeing. Whenever you feel like whoever in power, and because he's on their side now, he's claiming to be a Jewish president, they thinking they can just do whatever they want to do now. You know what I mean? With no consequence.
No consequence.
And they're going to call the shots. That's what it's about. So now they got all the power because that's what they always wanted from the jump anyway.
Power. Yep.
Mr. Trump could promise to use his building skills to build a temple in return for being the king of the Jews.
Throughout history, some leaders have been seen as more than just politicians. They are viewed as saviors or even messianic figures. But what happens when modern politics meets ancient prophecy? Some people believe Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States, is like a modern-day King Cyrus from the Bible, or even a Messiah, suggesting he was chosen by God to carry out biblical prophecies.
And I have good reason to believe Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins of Asa through offering his assistance in rebuilding the Holy Temple on the Temple Mount and establishing the Jewish kingdom over all of mankind in Jerusalem.
But why? And how does this connect to the building of the Third Temple and the timeline of the end times? In the Bible, King Cyrus of Persia is praised for allowing the Jewish people to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the Second Temple. Similarly, Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and move the U.S. embassy there has drawn comparisons to Cyrus. For some, this is more than politics, it's a prophecy.
Now, I want y'all to think about this. Think about this. Trump is like King Cyrus. Cyrus made proclamation to allow the Jews to go back home after the Babylonian captivity. But King Darius is the one that really put the stamp on it and put it in writing that also give these Jews gold and silver, give them anything they need when they go back home to build the house of their Elohim. How can Trump be like a Cyrus and y'all already at home? Make it make sense. If you already the people, you already at home, he can't be like a King Cyrus. That means that if he was allow us to go back home and kick you out, then he can be like a Cyrus. Then he can be like a Darius. You ain't the people of the book that you went back home. How you come from your homeland, come to another man's homeland, and then lie and say God gave you this homeland? But you didn't come into 1948. It's called a created state of Israel. You created it. So how is your homeland if you had to create it? Make it make sense, man. You had to create it and call it a state. But our land is not just a state. Our land the size of California. While everybody lying, talking about it's a small piece of dirt, you have been woefully misinformed. You better go do your research. You better get you some real maps. The land is big, family. From east to west, the land is big, family. It's humongous. All the way to Saudi Arabia.
And KG, it's just not even that land. Remember, the Most High said he made this world, this earth, for our sake, for the children of Israel, for everybody to serve us anyway. So yeah, he did give land to the other nations so that they can live on, but this planet belonged to us. And everything in it belongs to us. It was made for us and given to us.
That's facts. Now, Sham, thank you for that, my brother. He's absolutely correct. The world was given to us. But I'm just pointing out that this land is holy to our Elohim, but he gave us the world. So we don't gotta just be here. But I'm just pointing out that the fact that they don't belong there, though. They gotta go home.
Right.
They gotta go home. Because remember, our brother Edom, our cousins Ammonites, our cousin Moabites, where they at today? They lying, telling y'all that the Moabites and Ammonites are the Chinese. Man, stop it, man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. These are our kinfolks we was dwelling by. And all the children of Shem is still dwelling in the children of Shem's inheritance. How we know that? Because you got Afro-Palestinians, you got Afro-Iraqis, you got black people dwelling in India. These are the dwellings of Shem, people. So Shem's children are still around. You just don't really see them too much. But you got Afro-Palestinians, and one of them is the mayor of Jericho. An Afro-Palestinian, which is the mayor of Jericho. And if you couldn't tell me and him apart, that we were standing by each other. The point that I'm making, family, is that Yah is moving chess pieces around for Israel's benefit. And one day soon, we're going to inhabit the world and we're going to control all things like it was supposed to be from the time that he gave us our inheritance, from the time of Adam, when he gave him dominion through his descendants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the 12 tribes. Because if we would have never messed up, Sham right, we'll be controlling this whole world. It wouldn't just be our land, it would be everywhere. Everywhere. So really think about that. Our ancestors messed up pretty bad because we don't supposed to be in captivity. We don't supposed to be paying for water that he gave to us for free. We don't supposed to be paying for lights that he gave us lights for free. We don't supposed to be paying for no gas. We don't supposed to be paying for these necessities that was given to us free. But now we got to pay for things that used to be free to our benefit. But one day soon, we will go back home and we will not have to pay for these things anymore. So thank Yah for his compassion, his grace and mercy. Thank Yahshua for making an atonement through his death. Thank you, Most High Yah. Thank you, Yahshua HaMashiach. Thank you. Anything you want to add, Sham?
Yep. And also, because Oracle sent me some information, was talking about Pope Francis was supporting trans worship as well, you know, which is against the Most High. But we know they did all that type of stuff in Rome anyway, because that's who the Messiah was fighting against them. And we know the Most High not dealing with that. You know, I ain't saying nobody can't repent for nothing they did, but not still willingly being claiming to be the opposite sex when the Lord made male and female. So
right, facts. Absolutely.
The third temple is a key part of Jewish and Christian beliefs about the end times. For many Christians, the construction of the third temple is seen as a key event that will signal the second coming of Christ. This belief is based on interpretations of biblical prophecy, particularly passages in the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, which describe the abomination of desolation taking place in a future temple. Some people believe rebuilding the third temple in Jerusalem is like hitting.
If it's called the abomination of desolation, how they the people of the book?
Hitting the start button for the end of the world, according to certain prophecies.
In just the last 7 days, 8,368 men have clicked the link on one of our ads that you've probably.
They think it's the crucial step that sets God's plan in motion, leading to ultimate salvation and Jesus' return. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Many organizations like the Temple Institute, the Temple Movement, the Sanhedrin have everything planned, including the blueprints, sacred items, and trained priests needed for the third temple. In fact, all requirements and preparations have been completed since they had found 5 red heifers. Among those 5 red heifers, it is said that they have already selected one perfect red heifer that is ready to be sacrificed this April 2025. The Jewish community in Israel feels confident about the possibility of building the third temple. With a growing population that now outnumbers Palestinians, they hold more influence in the area. This has strengthened their position and given them an advantage over the Arab community. Since Israel's independence in 1948, Jews from across the globe have returned to the Holy Land in large numbers through waves of immigration. This movement, known as Aliyah, has brought Jews from regions like Europe, North America, the Middle East, and Africa, transforming.
Y'all don't hear this, man? Do y'all not hear this? I thought when y'all go back home, I thought the Mashiach supposed to be in the land with y'all. I thought the world supposed to have peace. The Bible say when the Israelites go back home and Yahshua is on the earth, nations should not study war anymore. So why are we still having war if y'all the people of the book? Where's your Mashiach?
And we supposed to be burning them weapons for what, 7 to 8 years, something like that.
Absolutely. I think 7, 8 months, Sham? Supposed to
Yeah.
be burning the weapons and burying the
No,
bodies.
I thought it was a year, 7 or 8 years burning weapons. I don't know. I gotta go read it again. But yeah,
You might be
it
right,
was
yeah.
it was a long time they would be burning weapons. So
why we ain't doing that, Sham? What a Mashiach?
hey man, because it ain't happened yet.
Facts, brother.
It ain't happened yet. But it's getting ugly though, K Judah. It's definitely getting ugly, family. We want y'all to keep
Israel
y'all eyes open.
Yeah, people, look at all these things that these people have built. Look at these people walking down these streets. Majority of all these people claiming to be Jewish, claiming to be chosen of Yah. Can you imagine it? That these people for many years and centuries have been lied to. Their children have been born and have been lied to. Something like the woman at the well. And I got some information coming out from Josephus, proving that the Samaritans that I've been telling y'all are not the children of Israel who was dwelling in the land when Yahshua came on the scene. And to understand that, you must understand who did they bring in and who did they take out when the northern kingdom went into captivity. They brought other people into that land, and they stayed in that land all the way until the time of the Messiah. So if you born in the land and you learned the ways of the people, what are you going to say? Our father Jacob gave us this well because you had to learn the ways of the people. Just like the Jewish people, they have babies being born. You can't tell their children they don't belong in this land because their parents then told them it do belong to them. So they're being brought up in the land that don't belong to them, but it's being told to them that they do belong there. These are kids, so they're going to grow up believing this their land. Same thing with the woman at the well, people. And I have information from Josephus to prove that the Samaritans said, we are not as the Jews. We are not the same people. When Antiochus Epiphanes was about to destroy Jerusalem, they wrote letters to him saying, hey, we do not come from these people. I'm going to prove it to y'all.
Multicultural society. Sanhedrin have also called all Jews around the world to immediately return to Holy Land because now it is the perfect time to build the third temple.
Again, that all the Jews have to come as soon as they can back to Eretz Israel.
The return of Jews to Israel is seen by many as the fulfillment of biblical prophecies about the ingathering of exiles. The Old Testament of the Bible talks about God bringing Jewish people together from all the places they've been scattered around the world. For example, it says God will gather them from the four corners of the earth and from the most distant land under the heavens. The Israeli government fully supports the idea of the third temple and is actively encouraging preparations for it.
If he say he gonna gather us from the four corners of the earth, how y'all just come from one location, which is in Europe, meaning all the places of Europe? You ain't come from around the world. Y'all come from Europe. One distant location. I thought you're supposed to be gathered from all over the world. Y'all come from Europe, man. Not all over the world, people. But a lot of nations and people within these nations, they didn't figure this out. That y'all been perpetrating the fraud. Y'all not the people of the book, man. The Most High have no dealings with you pale-faced heathens claiming to be us. You a heathen. You a bastard dwelling in Ashdod. Not the people of the book.
The ongoing archaeological digs in Jerusalem, particularly around the Temple Mount, are sometimes viewed as part of this preparation. Not only that, the return of Jewish people from around the world to Israel is seen by some as a prerequisite for the third temple's construction. And the Israeli government actively encourages Jewish immigration.
They're already in the process of doing the practice, and they are going to do the ceremony of the red heifer, and that is going to bring in the third temple, and that is going to bring in a lot more end times than people really want to talk about.
All of the garments prophesied in the Old Testament for the reestablishment of the third temple. There will be a third temple. All of the golden pieces that are being put together for the third temple have been built and are ready. And I could go on and on and on. The third temple is ready.
You see, the United States has also shown strong support for Israel, creating a powerful alliance. This backing has further boosted Israel's efforts to build the third temple. Many people believe this could happen soon, as it is seen as an important step in fulfilling ancient prophecies. This population growth, political support, and international alliances has created a unique moment in history, bringing the dream of the third temple closer to reality. Many evangelical Christians in the U.S. believe Trump's actions right now align with their understanding of biblical prophecy. His policies on Israel have strengthened his image as a key figure in their end-time beliefs. In fact, Trump helped the creation of the perfect altar, accelerating the construction of the third temple. The creation of the golden altar, crafted in the U.S. and exhibited last year, has added to this belief. The golden altar and Trump's actions are seen as accelerating the timeline for the third temple's construction, which is believed to signal the beginning of the Messianic age, or the second coming of Christ.
How to do it. I am the chosen one.
Sanhedrin, religious council in Israel, has suggested that Trump could play a role in building the third temple, seeing him as a global leader who could make it happen.
And I have good reason to believe Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins of Esau through offering his assistance in rebuilding the Holy Temple on the Temple Mount and establishing the Jewish kingdom over all of mankind in Jerusalem.
Beyond religious beliefs, Trump's connection to the third temple is also seen as a cultural and political symbol. Because of this, some Jewish rabbis and religious thinkers have referred to Donald Trump as the Messiah of Edom.
Sham, did you just hear that? Did y'all just hear that? The Messiah of Edom?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all hear that?
Now,
The
my
Messiah
thing
of
is
Edom.
they talking about the mixed blood though, or the sports seed of Edom. You know, but that's another topic, as we talk as we speak. But yeah, and like I said, as what I'm trying to say, Kjudah. It's a lot to take in dealing with Trump and everything he doing, but I definitely feel 100% the Most High using him.
Absolutely. Facts. I want to read this to y'all so we could just read scriptures as we go along. But the other video is about to blow y'all mind about these two black popes that are candidates to be selected. And me and Sham was just telling y'all that it's a strong possibility that we can get a black pope. And it's coming more and more every day to fruition. So this is Matthew 24 and verse 15. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 15. And when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso read it, let him understand. Now y'all know that according to the Bible, history just repeats itself. In the time of Daniel, who was the person who committed the abomination of desolation? His name is Antiochus Epiphanes. But in our time, in Matthew, when he said, go back and read Daniel, who is he talking about in this time? He's talking about the man of sin who's going to be revealed to defile this abomination of desolation, which is that temple they're going to build over there in Israel. See, they waiting on the Messiah thinking that whoever sit in a temple going to be their Mashiach. But he ain't going to be the Mashiach, because he going to take away their daily sacrifice and all hell going to break loose. That's book. Revelation chapter 11 let you know that the temple that they're going to build, they're going to tread it underfoot for 42 months. How long is 42 months? 3.5 years. How long did God give Satan to do what he do? 3.5 years. Because Satan want to be like Christ, right? He want to be like Most High. How long did Christ teach for? 3.5 years. How long he gave Satan? 3.5 years. The Lord had the Sabbath day. Satan got Sunday. The Lord got feast days. Satan got his holidays. He want to be just like the Most High. Most High got a people. Satan got him a people. Call it Jewish people. Lying. Just like they father the devil. A bunch of liars. Children of the devil just lying. Because he embody his children. The same way we embody our father's spirit, they embody their father's spirit. Your seed against her seed. Knowledge.
But you know what that means? He, I believe, is the Mashiach of Edom. The Mashiach is nothing more than an anointed one, right? That completely reverses the order of something.
Some rabbis have pointed to gematria to draw connections between Trump's name and messianic symbolism.
Perhaps it is no accident that the numeric value of Donald Trump in Hebrew is the same as Messiah, son of David, Mashiach ben David, 424.
Son of David. Sham, they got to cut it out, bro. Son of David, knock it off.
Mm-hmm. And you notice they always use gematria and stuff like that whenever they got these world leaders. Most of these people, man, they be already pre-picked and they be knowing what life they gonna have these people do anyway.
Facts, my brother. All right, Sham. So now, family, we can move to the Pope, because now we got to get understanding of this. Now, remember this, family. You can go do your own research and you can fact check me and Sham. Rome never stopped to exist. Rome never stopped to exist. We've been under Rome since 70 AD. What do I mean? Babylon was first, Nebuchadnezzar, Medes and the Persian, the Greeks, and then Rome. We've been under the Roman Babylonian system ever since they took over. From that time to this time, Rome never stopped to exist. They took a deadly blow. According to Revelation 13, they took a deadly blow. But in 476 AD, but the deadly wound was healed through who? The European Union, which is called the Big Ten. Do your research. Rome took a deadly blow in 476 AD. The deadly wound was healed through the European Union, which is called the Big Ten. That's why in Revelation 13, it had 10 horns with crowns on their heads, which represent the 10 nations of the European Union. Now, they have more members, like 100 and some members, but only 10 going to be able to vote, because that's what Yah say. He said 10 is going to be 10, even though they got 100 and some, but it's going to get down to only 10 can vote. Y'all see how Yah is doing this? Rome never stopped to exist. America looked just like Rome. She has a Senate, a Congress, a governing body. She has a president, just like in the Vatican, they have their leader, which is the Pope. They call him the Pontiff, or the Vicar of Christ, or Holy Father. Then he tell you, call no man your father. Why do the Pope call himself Holy Father? Because they think they the substitute of Christ on earth, or the Holy Father in heaven. He's playing that position on earth. Why do they bow down to the Pope? Why do they kiss his ring? Because he's the king of the earth. Nobody tell the Pope what to do. Nobody. They bow down and kiss his ring. He don't bow down and kiss rings. Even though he did bow down to them African leaders, though. He did. He got on both knees and bowed down to them. I don't know what that was about, but he bowed down to him, though. But they still kissed his ring, though. Bowed down and kissed his. So let's get to the Pope so y'all can see that after Pope Francis have died, the Most High is really finna show us that all scriptures are real. He didn't already show a lot of us. A lot of us been believing since we were little. But now that prophecy is being fulfilled more and more in our lifetime. More and more people are buying Bibles off the shelf. They studying the scriptures now. They understanding prophecy. You know, a lot of people are afraid because they're like, oh my God, the Bible is a true book. It's real. Everything that it is said in past time is being revealed in our time. So now people getting their house in order. They straighten up. You're not playing no more. They understanding. Let's get it. Anything you want to add, Sham?
No, go ahead. I'm eating and listening and joining at the same time. So I'm doing everything. But
Already.
yep. When I'm ready, I'll jump in.
Okay.
You're about to play the videos, right? Or
yeah, I'm about to play the video.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. Already.
Church, everyone was shocked because of the prophecy of one very. As soon as Pope Francis entered the church, everyone was shocked because of the prophecy of one very important saint, Saint Malachi. Now, before you dismiss this as just another prediction, what if I told you that there's a lot of new evidence that this ancient prophecy is playing out right now? Sounds eerie, right? So let's understand what the prophecy is all about, what has been predicted, and how accurate it is. Now, the current Pope of the Catholic Church, who goes by the name Pope Francis, raised quite a stir among prophecy enthusiasts. They are claiming that St. Malachi's vision pointed straight at this year, dubbing this new Pope as Peter the Roman, the final piece of the prophetic puzzle. Pope.
Did y'all hold up? Let me go back. Y'all, now, I'm just going by.
No.
I'm not saying this is true. I'm just telling you, this is one of the guys named Peter Turkson, who is one of the candidates for the Pope position. Go ahead, Sham.
Yeah, but the original popes of Rome was black. A lot of people don't know that because they got to remember the original Romans was a dark-skinned nation as well. They had color.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, reason why I'm saying this because I don't want y'all to be surprised. Remember, the children of Javant, they was a dark-skinned nation.
Absolutely.
Before they integrated with the children of Kitman, which is in I think the book of Jasher, and how they all became one where Alexander and all them took over. Yep. So some people seem to forget that. So don't think that because you see somebody that's black, it is black Romans. I just wanted to, let people know that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like me and Sham said on the phone, it's different in this time because a lot of people don't know that history. So when me and Sham say it's going to be a black pope, we're not saying this from the standpoint of they never been one before.
Right.
We said from a standpoint of these end time prophecies that for them to make one is mind blowing. That's what we're saying for the end time prophecy. But yeah, this is not the first one. It's not the first one. Watch this.
Dubbing this new Pope as Peter the Roman, the final piece of the prophetic puzzle. Pope Francis, originally known as Jorge Maria Bergoglio from Argentina, has raised questions. Despite his chosen name,
this is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop. If you haven't pooped today, you could be reabsorbing your toxic poop.
Some believers are.
Hey, Judah. Also, the day too, when I was at work, and they was showing the Pope body in a casket today, and they had the guards and them standing next to him.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the back, they had a statue of a black Jesus on a cross.
Oh yeah, they've been worshiping that Christ forever down there in the regions, but then get a world your boy jail.
Yeah, I don't know if people notice that, but if you go and you look at the what they call it, the news when they were showing it, you'll see a black Christ on a cross on in front of his body. I just wanted to add that in. People missed it.
And it's crazy how, we can tell our people that the Messiah look like us all day with woolly hair. Everybody tell us to be quiet, color don't matter. Then the Pope can bow his knees down to a statue of a black man, which represent Christ, and then they will accept it from him, but then condemn us for saying the same thing that the Pope and them say. Everybody know ain't no Caucasian man died for the sins of Negroes. How you gonna beat us and mistreat us and then die for us? The same way they treated our king, they treat us. There's no difference. No white man would die for you, black man and black woman. He would not give his life for you. Now he will put you in front of the bullet. He'll save a dog before he save you. So how he died for you? You mean to tell me Jesus embodied the spirit of a Caucasian man who on his mind is bloodshed and murder and pillaging and rape and being violent and shedding blood? That white man died for me? Stop it. Stop it, people. Ain't no white man died for my people. He won't even die for his own people. White people fight all the time and will push each other in front of the bullet to save their own family. You better go watch their movies. They do it all the time. Soon something bad happen, what you notice? White people turning on each other. So ain't no white man died for us. Cut it out. Ain't no Caesar boy jail died for us. But there is a black man that died for us. A dark-skinned, melanated man with woolly hair. Looked like he was burned in the furnace. He died for you. He embodied the spirit of the Father. The Godhead was embodied Yahshua HaMashiach. And he died for your sins. Yahweh died for you, family. Not no Caesar boy jail, who was a murderer, who killed his own brother-in-law, who slept with his sister, who paused people. This is who they put up as Jesus, y'all. But we don't know Jesus. But I don't have a problem with people saying Jesus. I just know who that is. Because when I think of Jesus, a Caucasian come to mind. But when I think of Yahshua or Yahweh, the Messiah, meaning the real figure of the scriptures, you know, the one that was polished brass. You know, his feet were so beautiful and sparkling like polished brass. I know that guy. I know that king, not Caesar boy jail. Anything you want to ask, Sham?
Judah, everything you just said, I was just teaching that at Passover this year. Because we had Passover in Delaware. And everything you was just saying about Jesus, and I just taught that, me and my brother Daquan, or Shar in Hebrew. We was teaching about how Caesar Borgia, because there was other people that was there. And we was showing them out the Bible, how he was actually in the Bible, who painted them, who was his lovers. We giving them their history. And a lot of them couldn't believe it. You could see a lot of people there because a lot of them was coming out the Christian church.
Yeah.
And it was the elder family, a lot of his family members and them. We was teaching them this stuff, man. They was surprised. They never knew. And I was telling them about the rappers. I said, why y'all see all these rappers with these chains on? I was telling about Rick Ross. I said, Rick Ross, it's a picture of Rick Ross with the Israelites. He know the Messiah black. He was taught that.
Facts.
But guess what? He still put on that white Jesus chain because he got to show who he loyal to and who's the master. I said, the only person who I have not seen put a white Jesus back on his neck ever since he learned the truth was, so far, Kendrick Lamar and Kodak Black. Even though Kodak Black going crazy, you never seen him with no Jesus chain on ever since he learned he was an Israelite.
Facts.
Or Kendrick Lamar. But everybody else who ran across the Israelites and learned that who the Messiah was and who Caesar Borgia was, they still wear it.
Yep.
And I think that's the only reason why they do that to Kodak. Because that's why he's going out his mind, but they can't get him to conform. See what I'm saying? Because he won't put it back on. He ain't bowing down to it. Mm-hmm. I feel like they trying to break your brother.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, bro, nothing happened by accident. Once they find out the nationality, they don't want them teaching it to the youth because they so influential to the youth. And that message can be spread abroad, like Kendrick Lamar when he said, "Don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite." man, that caused a stir in the world. I mean, they was mad at that boy for saying that because of the influence. Because you can cause a lot of people through his music and messages. He could cause a lot of people to go start doing some investigation. And when Kendrick said that, a lot of people went and did research based on that line. Don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite. So they went and did some research, and come to find out, a lot of people started to believe the things in the scriptures based on that one line because of the influence of a Kendrick Lamar. So they don't want to Kodak, Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross, and all these other people coming out saying we the children of Israel. Rick Ross gave a shout out to the Hebrew Israelites on one of his songs. He said, shout out to the Hebrews, the Hebrew Israelites. So they know. Because they don't want to lose their money. Because it's easier for these heathens to freeze up their bank accounts, to shut everything down, to put tax invasion on them.
Send them
it's
to
easy
prison.
for them to do that. Send them to prison. Because when you really look at it, you don't control nothing or own nothing in America. It can be shut down tomorrow. So what do you do? If somebody can take it from you that you say you work hard for, that means it don't belong to you if it can be taken from you. It don't belong to you. They can take it. So it belongs to somebody else who gave it to you and who also have control over what they took. Anything else you want to add, Sham, before we continue?
Nope. That was it.
Already.
Argue that hidden within his birth name is a connection to Peter. And get this, they're also making a case that he's a true Roman because his family has Italian roots, even though he's from Argentina. And this is where it starts to get really interesting. Let's travel back in time to figure out where this prophecy comes from. The prophecy of the popes is like a list of 112 mysterious sayings in Latin that tries to tell who the Catholic popes will be, starting with Celestine II. It showed up in 1595, introduced by a monk named Arnold Wyan. He claimed that it came from visions of Saint Malachi, who was an archbishop in the 12th century. The story goes like this. Malachi had a vision during a trip to Rome that revealed the names of every pope, 112 in total, from his time until the end of days. Think of it like a series of popes, and we're now reaching the last chapter. He wrote down these visions in mysterious verses, sealed them in Vatican's secret archives, and they remained hidden for centuries. Then along came Arnold Wyan, who uncovered this ancient manuscript just in time for a holy conclave in the 16th century. Of all the ancient prophecies in the Roman Catholic Church, Saint Malachi's prophecy stands out as one of the most discussed subjects that has captivated the minds of many historians. While some people question if his predictions are for real, others find them super interesting and surprisingly accurate. And here is where you might want to pay very close attention. According to him, the 112th Pope would be the last one. His words get intense, predicting a tough time for the Holy Roman Church. His prophecy for this year ominously states, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will pastor his sheep through many tribulations. And when these things are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people." The end. So, are we nearing the climax of Saint Malachi's prophecy? Well, it sure appears so. But the million-dollar question is, why is the reign of Pope Francis supposed to end? Now, this is where it gets really shocking. Okay, so let me fill you in. He's the first Jesuit Pope, taking on the role on March 13th, 2013. However, Pope Francis is not without controversy. He holds a unique position as one of the most controversial bishops of Rome in the history of the Roman Catholic Church. Why, you ask? Since he took the throne, he's been dealing with a lot of messy stuff in the church. One big issue was the scandal of clergy sexually abusing children and the church covering it up. Not good. But this scandal came into the spotlight in a big way in 2018 when a report came out about abuse in Pennsylvania. Plus, he had upset some people with his ideas. He wrote a book called Amoris Laetitia, and that got him in hot water. It's about letting people who got married, then divorced, and married
Judah,
again
pause that for a
have Holy
second.
communion. But not everyone in the church agrees with that.
Talk to me.
I thought I was unmuted. I was talking for a second. When he was saying that he came into church and he had to deal with a lot. And he had to deal with the covering up of the child molestation. So what we have to understand, remember, people, when we did the lesson on Paul and the stuff about what was going on in Rome during that time, remember, it was common for men in their 20s to be in relationships with young teenage boys. So that behavior is nothing new because that's Greco-Roman culture. So for them to behave that way, you should not be surprised. And we know sodomy is against the law of the Hebraic law. We know that would not be allowed in the Lord's church. So seeing the corruption there, it should not surprise y'all. That's all I wanted to point out. Go ahead, Kjudah.
Already. No, perfect. Perfect, my brother.
On August 11th, 2017, a bunch of 40 Catholic clergy and scholars said they accused him of spreading ideas that go against the core beliefs of the church. They said his words in a document called Amoris Laetitia and other stuff he said and did were effectively spreading wrong beliefs about marriage, moral life, and the sacraments. And it didn't stop there. On May 18th, 2018, CNN reported that a bunch of bishops in Chile quit their jobs over a scandal involving sexual abuse. It was a big deal, and
Oh, our car's value went up.
Maybe we should track all our cars' value on Carvana.
All of them?
All of them.
added to the troubles the church was already facing. Now let's rewind a bit to October 19th, 2018, and you might want to listen closely. A Catholic bishop named Bernard Fellet, who is more of a traditionalist, gave a warning. He said that Pope Francis was causing the church to decline and might be signaling the start of something really bad, like the age of the Antichrist. That's a pretty serious warning, don't you think? But let's not forget the other side of the coin. People really like Pope Francis because he's nice, he cares about the poor, and he talks to people from different religions. He also cares about the environment, and a lot of people around the world like him. A World Values Survey from February 2014 showed that many people think he brings people together in a good way. But some people in the Catholic Church don't agree with some things he teaches, so there's a bit of disagreement. But hold on, one of the most devastating blows came in the form of an 11-page letter which hit the scene on August 25th, 2018. This letter was from Archbishop Carlo Maria Viganò, who used to be the Pope Nuncio to the United States. In this letter, Archbishop Viganò accused Pope Francis of being neglectful in his responsibilities to the church, specifically concerning a guy named Theodore McCarrick. The accusation was that, despite knowing about sexual abuse allegations against
Kjudah, pause it for a second too.
the Vatican and Pope Francis.
I got you.
And family, I want y'all to, as we watching the video, y'all have to remember, look at all these men. None of them have beards, right? And remember, and they all claim to be Jewish, or because Catholics is pretty, well, they not really, well, they is sort of Jewish because they even wear the hats. You see what I'm saying, Kjudah? Mm-hmm. But remember, in Rome culture, to have a beard was a sign of a low status. That's their belief. So you can see how they all indoctrinated and they mixed up with the word. It's like they partially keep Torah, partially keep the New Testament. You see what I'm saying? Break Torah law and break whatever was spoken about in the New Testament to follow the law, the Roman law of nature. So these people is all confused. You see what I'm saying? All they're teaching is just a bunch of confusion. Like, look at this old man here. This elder man look like a, trying to look like a young child with no facial hair. It doesn't make sense. But, that's the culture of Rome. I just wanted to point that out.
You breaking up. Yeah, you broke up a little bit in the end.
No, I said that is the culture of Rome, and I just wanted to point that out.
Facts. Absolutely. Yeah, YouTube messing with us. It broke up in the end a little bit.
Didn't take proper action. Moreover, the letter didn't hold back. It even called for him to step down from his role as Pope. And here we are, fast forward to today. The drama around Pope Francis doesn't just stay in the Vatican City. It's spilled all over the internet and YouTube. People are buzzing with charges and accusations, and it's becoming increasingly evident. It's not just regular guys on the internet. Priests, bishops, cardinals, and lay scholars are becoming vocal critics of the Pope. The church is divided, with some people, especially from conservative groups and news outlets like Church Militant and the Remnant TV, strongly disagreeing with Francis and his more modern ideas. Now, you might be wondering, do any of these crises and accusations have anything to do with St. Malachi's prophecy? Well, that's an excellent question, and this is where it gets even more shocking. St. Malachi's prophecy, as we've explored, contains cryptic descriptions of the popes. Some guys have matched these descriptions to the popes who came before Pope Francis with surprising accuracy. So when we take a look at the current challenges and controversies, it makes you wonder if Pope Francis could indeed be the last pope as foretold by St. Malachi. So what we conclude is that St. Malachi's predictions are taken very seriously. In fact, back in 1958, just before the conclave that elected Pope John XXIII, Cardinal Spellman of New York went all out. He rented a boat, filled it with sheep, and sailed up and down the Tiber River. Why? To prove a point, that he was the shepherd and sailor, as predicted in the prophecies. Now, let's get back to the prophecy about the 111th Pope, Pope Benedict. It said, Gloria Olivae, which translates to the glory of the olive. Many people argue that this makes St. Malachi's prophecies pretty inaccurate. According to the prophecy, the next and final pope should be Peter Romanus. And here's where it gets really interesting. Some of these prophecies are eerily on the mark. Take Pope Urban VIII, for instance.
Now, I got to stop it here. Watch this. We got to get out of here. I'm about to show y'all something. Watch this. Right when this video and all this was coming out, look what happened. Look at what happened, y'all. This man passed away, man.
The people's pope has passed, and Catholics around the world are mourning him. During the next few weeks, solemn ancient traditions will play out. The Vatican now enters a 9-day mourning period. Multiple masses will be held. Pope Francis's body will be blessed. He will lie in state in St. Peter's Basilica, where the public can pay their respects. Known for his no-fuss approach, in 2024, the Pope approved a stripped-down funeral for himself. Normally, a Pope's body would be displayed on a raised platform, but Francis instead said he wishes to lie in an open wooden coffin without too much pomp and pageantry.
He doesn't want to lose that humbleness, and the attitude that he made him who he is.
The Pope must be buried between the 4th and 6th.
Okay, I'm just going quickly. Y'all saw the first video. The Pope then passed away, right? So check this out. I'm telling y'all, man, the Most High, bruh. Now check this out. I want to show y'all this before I show y'all the video. Go ahead, Sham. I'm gonna just open up the window.
No, I just wanted to say, he already supposed to be in the ground according to Hebrew tradition. He talking about the 4th and 6th day. He's supposed to have been in the ground. As soon as he croaked, he's supposed to have been in the ground by the evening. That's all I wanted to say.
These are the candidates. Okay. These are the candidates. Now I want you to look at the two brothers. This is Robert Shar. This is Peter Turkson. I believe one of these men will be the next pope. One of these brothers. I guarantee you, they might pick one of these two brothers. Because they're going to have to pick somebody who's going to draw all these people back to this religion.
Mm-hmm. They need the face.
They need a faith. Absolutely. They need a face. Now, we're not saying, oh, this is the first time we ever seen a face of a black pope. No. Got to go back to ancient time and read the history. But in the last days, it's going to be real interesting to pick a melanated man in these times. And what would they be picking him for? Because the Most High is the one orchestrating this, y'all.
Mm-hmm. And you got to remember, majority of the world is melanated anyway.
Talk to me.
You know what I'm saying? People, and another thing is people tired of the Europeans. and what they're doing. They tired of their face everywhere. Like because anybody who people expect a so-called looking European to be up there. They would never expect a black man to be up there, though. You know what I'm saying, K. Judah?
Facts. No, you facts. Everything you saying is 100, bro. You wouldn't expect it. That's why me and you saying if they do choose one of these two men, it's gonna shock the world. It's not gonna shock us from the perspective of we didn't see this before from reading history and understanding the ancient times, but it will shock the world for last day prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
It shocked the world. Oh my God, they got a black pope. And I'm telling y'all, when this happened, and if y'all permit this, they're going to rally around this man, whoever it be. If it's a black man, they are going to, you're going to see all over the news everywhere.
You know why, K. Judah? Because then black people gonna start looking at black people as, oh, we can be holy. You see what I'm saying? Like stupid Negroes. And then you got all your Christian pastors. Yes, because look at the Pope. You can be the Pope. You can be the holiest person on earth or looked at. You feel me? It gives them inspiration. And then people like, oh man, I'm a Catholic. You know?
Right.
I'm a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
See, all apart because guess what? Being a Christian and a Catholic is the same thing. Universal. And all I'm going to tie in right into it. You know what I mean? But I believe, and this not prophesying, I'm just saying I believe in my thoughts, whoever coming, they're going to be black. Whether it's the son of perdition or the devil, all of them, man, they're going to be someone of a Negroid. Because it makes sense for it to be that way. It don't make sense for it to be a European counterpart as a devil. Because why would he be in heaven up there with everybody else and he's supposed to be the most beautiful as angel? It don't make sense, KJ. Do you see what I'm saying? Think about that. We know how the Father look, we know how the Son look, and you got everybody in the heavens, and he made Satan as the most beautiful as angel. Why would he look like one of them white men up there? Make that make sense, bro.
Absolutely. So now that y'all see the candidates, we can get out of here because now I'm about to show you the two men. Let's get a little background of who they are. So let's go and just two more videos and we done. So this is like 1 minute video, I think 1 or 2 minute videos. So let me just open up the window again and we're going to go to Peter Turkson first. Who is Peter Turkson? Let's see.
And remember, family, Satan, the devil himself, is an angel. He's an angel.
Yep.
That was cast out. An angel.
Facts. That's facts right there. Now, this is Peter Turkson. This is one of the candidates to become the new pope. Let's see what he have to say.
Criminalize anybody, you need to be able to identify the crime. Okay, so my position has always been LGBT cases are not to be criminalized because traditionally the Ghanaian culture has known of people with some such tendencies. And I say this because there is an expression in the local Akan language, that of mine, of men who act like women and women who act like men. There is an expression for it. It means that this phenomenon was known in the culture, in the community and all of that. But nobody went on to make any policy out of that.
In Uganda, the official leadership of the Catholic Church has stayed silent, has not condemned what the Ugandan parliament has approved of.
Because I think we need a lot of education to get people to make a distinction between what is crime and what is not crime. What's a personal habit and not a personal habit. So something that, that tradition may be referred to as a taboo and all of that.
Well,
it takes time.
It takes time. According to the Ghanaian Catholic Bishops' Conference, it is despicable lifestyles, practices, and behaviors. Is it time? And you are one of the senior voices of Catholicism in Africa. Is it time to move away from that kind of language?
It is time, what I'm saying, it's time to begin education to help people understand what this reality, this phenomenon is. If culturally we had expressions and terms for this type of, it just means that it's not completely alien to the Ghanaian society. Not being completely alien to the Ghanaian society, now that is coming out this form, what has to be the response? I think this drastic form that is taken in Ghana and probably still in Uganda is been the perception that the West was imposing this, connectedly, linking it with some donations and grants and all of that. It's kind of politicized that in such a way that the reaction to it has also been equally political in character. But I think we could, all of this, from my point of view, and this is what I think, I speak about with a couple of other bishops, is to be able to understand more deeply this phenomenon.
It's not no phenomenon, sir. The Most High made male and female. It's not no phenomenon. The Most High made male and female. But this goes to show you, them Catholic popes or cardinals and bishops, this is the type of behavior that they push, because this is the type of behavior that they perform when they mess with them little kids. Then now they talking about a man. Hold on, Arca just sent me something. Hold up, my sister sent me. It say that a man was almost in tears. Gay Vatican advisor described Pope Francis' support for trans worshipers. So they support this stuff, family. Instead of telling a person to repent, they just tell them to come as a trans and you can still worship Yah. But you can't worship Yah as a trans. You got to worship Yah with what he made you as, because there is no abominable thing that can be in his presence. And it ain't just about trans and LGBTQ. You can't come in his presence if you're a murderer and you haven't repented. You can't come in his presence if you commit adultery and you haven't repented. So sin is sin. Sin is sin.
KG, let me say this real quick.
Already.
I think he is the son of perdition or the Antichrist, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because the Most High put on my spirit, I started looking up this guy's name. And I remember some brothers we were studying, we was talking about the Antichrist supposed to come from around the Turkish region. That man's name is Turk, or Turkson would be Turk in Hebrew, right? Well, we come from that region, and his name is Peter. Remember, Peter, the Messiah said that he would build his church on Peter, right? He got the name, brother. He fits it. It makes perfect sense, meaning he's the first, or the church, and he's coming from Turkey, brother, and he's the son of perdition, Turkson. That's the Antichrist. He is he gotta be, bro. It makes perfectly good sense. Peter, Turkey, son of perdition, and he's for homosexuality, meaning he wouldn't desire a woman. Think about it.
Talk that talk.
It makes perfectly good sense for his name. Because, names mean something. Everybody's name means something, especially in Hebraic culture. That's why they talking about Donald Trump name, right? Yep. And what's the other candidate name?
Robert Sari. We about to go to him next. Robert Sarah.
Sarah. This name, Peter. The Lord said he's going to build his church on, right? St. Peter Church, right, was the first church, or supposed to be the church, right? The Lord said he's going to build it on Peter's name, right? Meaning the church, right? In the New Testament, right?
Yep.
First it was Peter, right?
And Sham, they say they leaning more towards him right here.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. The reason why I believe that he is the son, or could be the next, or he probably is the Antichrist, son of perdition, because he's coming from Turkey, and it's all in his name, and his name is Turkson. Son of what though? Son of perdition. I mean, it's just, it makes sense. I mean, if you decode his name, Peter, He's coming from with the church, coming out of where? Turkey region. And he's the son of what? Perdition. The devil himself.
Because y'all remember too, the devil is going to embody the man of sin.
Mm-hmm.
Manifestation. He's going to manifest himself through him. He's going to manifest himself through him. So yeah, man, I'm telling you, hey, that's a good assessment, Sham. You know, like I say, we just got to watch how it play out. But first, we got to see who's going to be elected. But they did say they leaning more towards Peter Turkson. You know, it's been all in the news media that they leaning more towards him. Now, I'm going to show y'all this one more video of Robert Sarah, the other guy. And I'm telling y'all, they say they leaning more towards this man, family. But we still got to watch how the Most High handle his business because we don't know. But they say around the Catholic, around the Vatican, that they're leaning towards him. That's the word on the street. They leaning towards Peter Turkson. That's why I put his picture up there and not Robert Sarah, because this man is the talk of the town right now. Peter Turkson. Let me go to the next video. And then this will be it right here, y'all. It's the last video.
I mean, he could be a black Edomite. I don't know. I'm not saying he ain't.
Yeah, me and Sham got a lesson coming up called The History of Edom. And I've been doing a lot of research, even buying books and everything. And I'm going to tell you something. We can't trust these heathens for nothing. We got to do our own due diligence. Because I bought a book called Who is Esau? And the first page, they lying. I'm talking about, they say Esau make up the whole white race. Now, I do believe that his seed was spoiled. But I don't believe he make up the whole white race. Like, stop it. Just cut it out. Cut it out. But yeah, man, Sham got a lesson coming up called The History of Esau. And I'm going to show y'all, man, Edom did some things, people. I see why the Most High mad at him, family. I see why the Most High have a problem with him. It ain't just the birthright. Man, this man got a perpetual hatred. But we'll deal with that another time. Okay, this is Robert Sarah. Let's listen to his little, few words he got.
67-year-old Cardinal Robert Sarah is from Guinea. Throughout his life, he has studied in the Ivory Coast, Guinea, Senegal, Israel, and Italy. He was ordained at the age of 24, and then when he was 34, Jean Paul II appointed him Archbishop of Conakry in Guinea, making him the youngest bishop in the Catholic Church. Then, at the request of Jean Paul II, in the year 2001, he began working as a secretary of the Vatican's Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples. Since 2010, he served as the president of the Pontifical Council Corunum, which oversees all the charity work of the Universal Church. But the cardinal insists that the church is not like an NGO.
Catholic volunteering is based on our faith in God, which teaches us to give ourselves to others just as Christ did. So it's not just volunteering for the sake of volunteering, it's about fulfilling a mission, the same mission of Christ of giving oneself to others. This is the main difference between us and a regular NGO.
Cardinal Robert Sarah speaks French, English, and Italian. He's been the papal envoy to areas of conflict and also to areas of great need. For example, he went to Haiti after the massive earthquake, and most recently, he visited Lebanon to meet with Syrian refugees.
So there you go, family. There you go. These are the two candidates. And like I said, I want to read this because no white man can perform this, what I'm about to read. And I want to say this. No Caucasian man can fulfill what I'm about to read, because if it's the very elect are those with understanding. The elect are those who are walking closely with Yah. So how can a Caucasian man deceive the very elect? It has to be somebody that look like the elect, that if it was possible, they can deceive the very elect, not a Caucasian man. So this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. For then should be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. Now, time out. Why do we have to shorten up the days? Because everybody got a missile that could destroy everything. And if y'all don't shorten up these days, man will go stupid. Man will go stupid. He'll hit a button. He'll hit the wrong button. So y'all got to make sure he got the angels who walk to and fro through the earth, making sure everything is calm and everybody's in position where they're supposed to be. Ain't nobody hitting no buttons or none of that. So y'all got these angels walking to and fro through the earth. But the question has to be asked, how, if it was possible, they can be deceived? Let's go to 2 Thessalonians.
Pedro, we'll answer your questions when we done. So I see him posting in the chat.
This is 2 Thessalonians. First, 2 Thessalonians, second. And I'm gonna read this to y'all. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And I'm gonna pick it up at verse 8. And it reads, it say, and then should that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord should consume with the spirit of his mouth, and should destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. The Lord gonna let this man make fire come down from heaven. The Lord is gonna allow this man to perform signs and wonders. He gonna make a statue walk and talk, whoever this man may be. That's why he say if it was possible, they could deceive the very elect. Because, and like let's say this. Of course, no black nation is ruling. But the false religious leader is not based on what nation is ruling, him being in power. Because you're going to have the false religious leader, and you're going to have the temporal leader who's going to be over the European Union. This is called church and state. You got the economic part, Revelation 18. You got the religious part, Revelation 17. The man that's over Revelation 17 is the beast, the woman riding the beast. That's the Catholic Church. That's one of these popes who going to defile that temple that they're going to build. Because that's what the book say. He going to defile the temple, call abomination, desolation. So we just got to see how this going to play out. Because
we got to remember. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Sham.
No, I wanted to say, remember, Edom is small amongst the heathen, and he hide himself too. So when you keep saying about it can't be no black Edomite or this and that, it's not true, man. Esau hiding himself. He's hiding himself still also amongst the nation, and the Lord said that he's going to be revealed. They would not tell us that in the scripture, Kjudah. And said what? He will not be able to hide himself no more. We're going to see him with our very eyes. There you go. So if white people are Edomites, like all of them, like we claiming to be, how was he here if we seeing all these so-called Edomites who they claiming to be Edom? Edom is ruling, but he's ruling hiddenly. And we're not talking about no, what's the name, Edomite. When me and Kjudah talking about Edom, we're not talking about his spoiled seed. We're talking about the pure-blooded Edomites themselves. That's what we're talking about, because you got to think about it. The Lord deals with pure bread. Everything else, mixed bread, is what? Cast out. He don't care about these mixed bread Edomites. He going to get rid of the pure-blooded ones because what? They can't reproduce no more. That's what the Most High did with pure. That's what we trying to get everybody to understand. But it seems like nobody don't understand that, do they, Kjudah? The Most High don't care about pure mongrels. He tell you, get rid of them, cast them out. He's destroying the pure bloodline, because the pure bloodline is what keeps the line going. That's why they say, what? We want to destroy the seed of Israel, meaning what? The pure bloodline. They don't care about the mongrels. Well, go ahead, K. Judah.
No, I was just gonna say we just gotta wait to see how it play out, because at the end of the day, here go another thing that people have to understand. Edom's seed has been spoiled, but that does not mean all of Edom is Caucasian or white or have pale skin. The Bible never say anything about Edom, just like his seed was so spoiled that everybody just looked like, you know, a white man.
Right.
Because people get confused this. The Ashkenazi Jews are not Edomites. They come from the children of Japhet. The German Jews, the Poland Jews, the Russian Jews, these are all children of Japhet. These are not Edomites.
Exactly.
So when people say Edom is the Caucasian race, you can't say all of Edom is the Caucasian race. There's no Bible scripture say Edom is the whole Caucasian race. There are no history books where, I mean, even though they be lying, talking about Edom make up the whole white race, that's a lie.
That's impossible.
Right.
He married Ishmaelites.
Sham, let me say this and then you got the flow. Y'all, people got to stop thinking that Edom was uncivilized. Edom is not no European dwelling in no Caucasus mountain where he was eating bugs off his body. That is not Edom. Edom was civilized. He come from parents that were civilized. He just was a hunter.
Thank you.
A man of the field, but that does not mean he wasn't a civilized man. So
thank you.
Caucasian people are not civilized. They come from the Caucasus mountain. Esau don't come from no Caucasus mountain. He come from Petra, Seir. He was civilized. He knew how to act. He's a Hebrew. He know the language. Like, people got to think about that. Esau was not uncivilized. He just a bloody man, a deceitful man.
He's a killer.
Man, a hunter. He's a killer. That's why Jacob was scared of him. So Esau do not make up the whole Caucasian European race. That is not true, man. That is not true.
And K. Judah, let's think about this. During the time of Edom, who did he marry? He married Ishmaelites. Ishmaelites are our cousins. Right. Ishmaelites are Negroes. They're not these Ottoman Turks. We're talking about the original. If you're going to go look at the original Ottoman Turks, they are also black people from the seed of Abraham, which are what they call the Hagarenes, I believe, right? Which they should be not the Ottoman Turks, but the original Arabs, the original Ishmaelites were dark-skinned, Negro-looking people. They're our cousins.
And they still around
exactly. Today. Now, a black Edomite Negro married a black Ishmaelite Negro. You see what I'm saying, K. Judah? So now these pure-blooded Edomites, or these Edomites who also look like that, and he also married the Canaanites. You see what I'm saying too?
And
so we know, and a Hittite. So we know he got some mixed breed Edomites. That's a part of the nation, and you got the pure-blooded ones. We're speaking of the pure-blooded ones, and we know in all societies, anybody with dark skin are not put on camera to be the face of anything, because you got to remember, you have the original Japanese and Chinese are also dark-skinned people, like the dark-skinned Arabs. They do not put these people on TV at all, the ones that has color. So the problem is because of the brainwashing in society today, and they always showing what these people that look European with the pale face, you're thinking that they're not in this, they're not in that. Man, you don't understand the hidden hand, and you definitely don't understand why they call it the black boule. I keep talking about that. People who look like you, and they are the devil themselves, that you think because somebody look like you because you ain't seen their face. You know what I'm saying, K. Judah? And so many years because you in the neighborhoods with your people, and these people is the Satan himself. You don't even know it. You thinking it's, because the white man is a devil. Man, bro, it ain't just the white man. That's all I want to say, K. Judah.
Already. Yeah, Edom did mix with the Horites, and the Horites was the ones who used to dwell in Mount Seir. Then the Most High took it from the Horites and gave it to the Edomites. Now remember, Back in the day, color wasn't a thing. It wasn't about color. It was about your tribe, your language, and your father's house. Because
bloodline,
everybody
right.
looked the same. Everybody looked the same back in those days.
Right.
Edom was ruddy like David. Edom was ruddy like David, but he spoiled their seed. Does that mean that because his seed is spoiled, that everybody turned Caucasian? No, it doesn't mean that. Because you Negroes are also spoiling your seed. But does that mean that the whole Israelite race have become Caucasian? We do a lot of mixing. No. All nations do a lot of mixing. Do that negate their nationality? No. You don't become another nationality because of mixing or because your seed is spoiled. Your people are your people. It's just that now you have Mongoloid children or mixed breeder children, but the nationality of the Israelites is still the Israelites. But we do a lot of mixing. Edom did some mixing. Canaanites, Hittites, the Horites, the Ishmaelites, women. Guess what? These were all melanated women in the time that Esau was sleeping with these women. So how do this man make up the whole white race?
Right. But Pedro, you're not understanding, brother, that this is why we go back to, like we said before, you got purebreds, breeds, and you got half breeds. This is why the Most High talks about the natural branches and the unnatural branches. When the Most High is talking about Edom, he's talking about these natural branches. These half breeds is going to die off. Why you think all these people crying about, oh, we trying to mix back with black people because we trying to save our race, because they being attacked by the elements of the earth. A lot of these people can't survive on these earth. The Edomites, the black ones, are fine. They have melanin. They don't have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Can't you facing the elements?
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? It's the mongrel. Go ahead.
No, Sham, the Bible don't say that Esau was sleeping with Neanderthal DNA. The Canaanites was a black race of people at that time who come from the children of Ham with the Hittites. Now the Horites, right? You saying the Horites are half human. Now I'm just keeping it like what? Where said it at? Because Esau's children at that time, the Bible never say these was like Mongoloid or half race. Because when he slept with the Ishmaelite women, that's still a stock of Abraham, and they both Hebrew. Edom is a Hebrew, right? Ishmael was a Hebrew. So the children that didn't sleeping with the Horites or the Canaanites and the Hittites, his mama did not want him messing with the Canaanites or the Hittites because they was a vile, disgusting people.
Mm-hmm.
But they never say he couldn't mess with Ishmaelite women. So I'm trying to understand what Neanderthal DNA do Esau have in him, because he was a full-blooded human. He come from two Hebrew parents. So you saying the Horites got have human DNA? I don't know, bro. Like, if you can give me some information, I can research and I can look into it, because I don't want to say you wrong. I just would prefer to look into it, because you might got a point, but I just got to read it, because I don't want to just go off just saying, oh yeah, that's true, and I don't got nothing in front of me to validate it. So I'm not saying you're wrong, Pedro. I just need something to, read what you're saying and get an understanding of where you're coming from.
The issue is, Kjudah, they keep disregarding the pure bloodlines as if pure bloodlines don't exist, and that's not true. The Bible says there's no end to no people. So we cannot sit here and say there's no pure-blooded Edomites on this earth, because that's like saying ain't no pure-blooded Israelites and everybody mix. Right. And when we saying pure-blooded, we talking about 99.9% of who you are, not how they all trying to make it like we all got all these different Irish and this and that and white people. And man, stop it. We know how the three generations work. It's pure-blooded Edomites on this planet, and they look like their original selves. Point blank period. All of them are not spoiled or mixed out. It's not true. Yes, Esau spoiled his seed, just like Abraham. His seed supposed to be as the sand of the sea, right? But Israel also mixed their holy seed too. You see what I'm saying, Kjudah? But yes, not as worse as Esau. That's what the Lord is saying. So we did it too, but not to the degree that Esau had done it. That's what we're talking about. But Esau is what? Small amongst the heathen. Ain't that what the scriptures say, Kjudah?
That's what it say. He's small. I made you small among the heathen.
So if he's small amongst the heathen nation, what Edomites are we talking about that's small? I believe it's referring to the pure-blooded ones, not the mixed out ones. You see what I'm saying? Because they are not considered Edomites, or what you would call a pure-blooded Edomite. You see what I'm saying? What would they be considered, K. Judah?
A mongrel, half-breed.
The mongrel race, brother, the castaways, they'll be cast out. This is why people can't get it. They don't understand. Once you're cast out, just like in the Israelite nation, those children that was mixed or spoiled was not considered Israelites. They were considered castaways. They was cast out. All those mixed out other people who we like, they could be Edomites or what we call Edomites. They're not really Edomites. They're castaways because they're spoiled seed. So Edom seed. So the Lord said, this man we won't see no more. Or that bloodline of Edom will not reign on the earth no more, because what? He ain't worried about these mixed breeds. The pure blood or the pure line of him must be wiped out off the face of the earth. You saying right, K. Judah?
Absolutely. And this is going to back up what Sham's saying. Thank you to my brother Yohanan. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 5. The imperfect branches should be broken off, meaning the tares. Unprofitable children, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, met for nothing. Watch this. He put the other one in here. Watch this. Let me go back up. The same chapter, now this time verse 6. For the children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. Let's get
That's
one
the
more.
spoiled seed. That's the spoiled seed. The mongrels.
Check this one out. First Ezra chapter 8, verse 70. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great man have been partakers of this iniquity. So what Yohanan put in the chat is that we also mixed our holy seed. But did we mix out? No. We didn't mix out to a point that where Israel is no more. You know? That's all we're saying. So the children, that's why the Bible said, let the children grow up together. I separate them at the end. That's just what the book say. Because we got to keep it real. The Most High never wanted the holy seed to mingle themselves with the strange people. Because to the Most High, that's a strange child to him, which is illegitimate or a bastard.
Yep. He cast out. So they cast them away with the women too. Why? Because the women are the first teachers. And that's why he said the children are speaking half Hebrew, half Ashgar, or whatever language they were speaking.
You're right.
Get them up out of here. They got to go.
They got to go.
They worshiping idols and false deities. Get them up out of here. They got to go.
And they
so when we talking about
following me,
right? And when we talking about the Edomites that are spoiled, they are not really Edomites. They are mongrel castaways too.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Because they are not a pure-blooded Edomite. We're talking about the hidden hand Edomites, the ones that you don't see. That's what we talking about, because he said Edom can't hide himself no more.
No more.
So
yep.
If Edom, meaning the pure-blooded Edomite, is hiding, where is he hiding at? He's hiding amongst who? And he trying to hide his seed, and he's hiding himself. And remember, in the war, when Edom and Israel was fighting next to each other, they could not tell Edom and Israel apart.
Yep, when they was fighting
they looked exactly the same.
Yep, when they was fighting the Romans. Facts. Edom helped the Jews fight Rome in the time of 70 AD. And it's something that I got to correct on live, because I was taught this and I want to correct it on live. I used to always say that Obadiah was talking about 70 AD. I want to correct that. No, it's not talking about 70 AD. Because from the time of Obadiah to the time of 70 AD, it had not even happened yet. So I want to correct that on live and say that that's my fault, my mistake. I know now that it's talking about when Esau helped the nations, that was the Babylonian captivity. When Esau helped Babylon destroy Solomon's temple, And I got history to back this up. That Solomon temple, Edom helped them destroy it. That's why in Psalms 137, what did the Bible say? Edom said, raise it to the foundation of. What did he call Edom? The daughter of Babylon. Because you're no different. You're no different. You like Babylon to me. So he called Edom the daughter of Babylon, because Edom was helping Nebuchadnezzar and them destroy the Jews, destroy Jerusalem. That's why the Bible says you should have never helped. You should have never stepped in the crossway when my people, when a calamity came upon them. You should have never been in the way. And you moved into my people gates. Man, we got a lesson coming up called the history of Edom. Y'all are gonna be blown away. I'm telling you, you're gonna be blown away all the things that Edom did. Now, if they couldn't tell Edom apart from the Jews when they was fighting together, how is this man a whole white race?
Exactly.
How?
And he came out different. And when he came out, it wasn't that he was white. He came out because Edom had red hair. And I keep telling you, Negroes have red hair. You got red hair Negroes. It runs in my family, even though I know my people not Edomites, but some of my family members' hair changed red from certain times of the years. It's just a red gene that runs through my family bloodline.
Right.
A few of my cousins have red hair, and then it turn back black or they turn red, a reddish brownish color. Edom was a red-haired, hairy Negro.
And what I'm gonna do, because I didn't already put all the history together, I'm gonna do my due diligence, and I'm gonna search. I'm talking about like, I'm gonna search and try to sniff through I'm gonna find some images, because I have a book that Lee Cummings wrote, and it got a lot of images of black Arabs, and I'm gonna see, do we got pictures, because the book I'm reading right now is called Who is Edom? So I just read this other book about the black Hebrew Israelites. Well, I don't like saying black, I just say the Hebrew Israelites. And it was talking about, some valuable information in there. So you have to remember this too. All the painters, all the people that painted images and all that, they are Caucasian, whitewashing everything. So of course, a lot of the images that we see today, we just going off at face value, not understanding it's a replica of something that was real. These are not real images that you see today. These are replicas of the real images. I got images of the Egyptians being dark-skinned. Then one of these painters gonna make Joseph Caucasian. Come on now. But his brothers couldn't tell him apart, Sham, from the Egyptians and the Hebrews. But he's Caucasian. Right. Make it make sense, man. Okay.
Okay, Judah, let me say this real quick. Pedro, listen, right? Let me see what he said. Okay, can you put that question, that last one?
Yeah, I got
the one he said, right, okay. So listen, Edom is ruling right now, right? But you have to understand the way that the devil works, right? The devil put things in your face so you can't see it, but also it says Edom is hiding himself. Just because you see a face of somebody ruling, don't make that Edom. You see what I'm saying? Same way the Most High used people to represent him for a time period or to see him, doesn't mean that Edom would use another nation or face or somebody when you playing chess on the chessboard to deceive somebody that has another face up there to deceive you, the people. That's the way that they work. You see what I'm saying? Everything is coded and everything is done in craftiness. I keep trying to tell you, your worst enemy or the person who you think that's the enemy ain't who you think is, ain't who you really think it is. The person who's your biggest enemy is you. Look in the mirror. That's why Michael Jackson made that song, Man in the Mirror. He was talking about yourself. The worst enemy is the person that looks just like you. Mm-hmm. That is the person that looks like you, that comes from your bloodline. That's your biggest adversary. That's why Israel hate themselves so much. Because the same devil is the person that looks just like you. That's your worstest enemy to hold you back in this world. And you know what we always say, K Judah? It ain't even them. It's our own. Why do black people always say that, K Judah?
Yep. Because it's our worst enemy, our own people towards us.
Our own people was our worstest enemies, bro. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Edom is ruling, but who you think is Edom is not Edom. He's ruling with a hidden hand. Just you ever seen that a show called Who Cloned Tyrone? Did you see that, K Judah?
Mm-hmm.
And what was Tyrone doing?
Example.
Say it again.
Hurting the community.
No, right. But the reason why I said that, right? Tyrone was the devil himself. Why? Because he was cloning his own people and he kept all that bad stuff going. And all of them, when he realized who was the worstest enemy, who was it? It was his own self.
It was his own self. Yep.
His own self. He was thinking it was white people and the cops and all these different people. Say it again, K Judah.
No, I was saying that when he said, and the Arabs are from the bloodline of Ishmael. Yeah, but the original Arabs who the Arab slave trade when it was with the Israelites, that was the real Arabs.
Right.
These Ottoman Turks that you see today, them ain't no real Arabs. Them just some Ottoman Turk babies, just like the people in Egypt.
Yeah.
Them ain't no real Egyptians.
They came from the Ottoman Empire. That was after the Arabs was already running around before the Ottoman Empire. That's why I'm saying you got to know the history. That's all we trying to tell you, man, before the Renaissance, because y'all dealing with later information. You got to go back to the antiquity. If you don't go back to antiquity, this is why y'all confused. The Arabs who you see today they are not Arabs at all. They are mongrels themselves.
Yep, mongrels.
They're mongrels themselves. What's that scripture in Jeremiah where it says that the Lord will be going over to the mingled people or the mixed people? He's going to be naming all them people over there in them areas in the deserts where you say the Arabs be at. He names that in the Bible. They are mongrels. They're not Arabs. Well, go ahead, K Judah.
No. Excellent. I'm gonna read it right now. This is
that's all we saying. They're not Arabs, bro. They mongrels. All them people over there are mixtures. They all mix. So-called who you call Arabs today, they came from the Ottoman Empire. Those Ottoman Turk Europeans was over there mixing with other people, and they went all down in Egypt and all over the place, and they all say, "Oh, we Egyptians and we Arabs," and we just know they're not. They're Ottoman Turks from the Ottoman Empire.
Just like the people, the Palestinians claiming to be from Gaza and Ashdod and all that. No, that's not true. The original Philistines was black. They come from the seed line of Abraham. So how did these so-called Palestinians become the original? The point that we're making is that there's a remnant of the original people on this earth. Like the Israelites, you got the original Arabs, you got Afro-Palestinians, you got Afro-Iraqis, you got black people in India. You still got the children of Shem dwelling in their dwellings. You just don't see them. They show you the Mongol people. Like you got Afro-Cubans, but they show you J-Lo. You got Afro-Puerto Ricans, but they show you the white ones. You got Afro-Guatemalans, but they show you the white ones. You got Afro-Mexicans, but they show you the white ones. You got a remnant of the original inhabitants of these lands. You just don't see them.
Right. So what they doing is they showing the mongrel race. That's what we keep trying to tell everybody. Everybody you saying are the mongrel race, meaning the mixed race of people the Lord keep talking about. And guess what? It's a lot of them because the scriptures talk about the mongrels. It's a lot of mongrels. That's why I call them the mongrel race. They're the mongrel race of people. They're a race. And just because they look, and some of these mongrels, they look like original people, but they mongrels too. They might look like a Negro, but they not a Negro. They're a mongrel. That's what we trying to tell y'all. You got the ones who... I'm sorry, King Judah, go ahead.
No. You good. I'm going to get this book because he said when the Bible described the Ishmaelites as a wild man, yeah, that's the original Arabs that was black.
Yes.
Yeah, the
The
original
original
Arab
Arab.
was a wild man. You don't see what they did to us. They did us worse. Man, you go read about that Arab slave trade. Man, they did us horrible. He a wild man for real. Nigga crazy.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. You got to remember, you over there in the Middle East, you in that desert, man, in that hot sun. Black people been over there in them regions for years. You talking about in Africa, brother, Northeast Africa. Think about it. Only reason why them Europeans is inhabiting South Africa is because they were trying to move all the black people out, and they developed it. That's why when people talk about, oh, there's a white person, I'm South African. No, you're not. You wasn't from here. Y'all moving the people out and developing that land for yourself. And then another 500 years later, they're going to be thinking that South Africa was full of white people and no black people, because that's what they do. What they do, Kjudah, change the history. That's cool, Pedro. I'm just trying to get you to understand. You got to learn history, brother. And you have to understand nationality, because the teachings of the Israelites today with the line 12 tribe chart and all these different things, they push mongrel people, and they go along with the lies of these people on the forefront. And these people are not the people. You know what I mean? They just put a false face up there to confuse everybody. That's the issue and the problem in the nation right now. The false face. You know what I mean? You got to understand bloodline and pure lineage and how people look before the mixing. Because the Japanese and Chinese, they was a dark-skinned nation of people. They didn't have straight hair and a high yellow pitch tone. Go look at the original Japanese, the original Chinese. They was a people that had skin melanin and tone, and you have a lot of them are still around today. That you just don't see them on the so-called TV and stuff like that. They like to keep the people with the melanin off the screen because they want to promote high yellow and being light. That's a thing of theirs. Yes, yes, we are scattered to the four corners of the earth and to the Caribbeans. But you got to also understand this too. People from the islands, a lot of them are mixed up, and a lot of them don't like black people. They got a problem with black people, people from the island. No disrespect, but a lot of people from the island think they better than black people in America or the so-called Negroes here. They think they better than us, and then a lot of them, depending on where they from. They got mixed ancestry. I know somebody who I thought was a pure-blooded Negro and found out that her people is mixed with people from India, and she looked like a Negro. And that shocked me. Hey, Judy, you still there? So yeah, family, it's crazy out here, with all this mixing
Sham,
stuff.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I found it. Pedro.
Okay.
This from one of my books, Pedro, called The Revised Version, Black and White, includes Jews of South, Central and North America, updated manuscripts, artifacts, and eyewitnesses. This book is called The Negro Question, Part 2. The African ships that came from Judah. That came for Judah. It's by Lee Cummins. Let me show you a picture of a real Arab, brother, so you can see with your own eyes. This is what me and Sham mean when we say the original. Let me open up this window real quick so we can show them. The people you see today are not Arabs. This is a real Arab.
Get out of my face, kid.
Here you go right here. You see this? This is an Arab, my brother.
Exactly.
Now watch this. Look what it said at the bottom of the page. The Arab Prince, Rudolph Ernest, 1854 to 1932. Look, brother, this is a Arab, son of Abraham, Ishmael. This an Arab, a real Arab. What you see today are not Arabs. They are people who claim to be Arabs based on living location, not based on nationality, based on living location. Like when you take over a land, you call yourself after the people of those lands. Like the Jewish people call themselves Israel, but they are not Israel, but they called themselves after the land in which they took. This is an Arab, brother. There you go. I just wanted to show you that. That's a real Arab prince. Okay. The scattered to the Caribbean islands consists with Judah being scattered to the four corners of the earth. Yeah, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was scattered to the four corners of the earth, but we can't even say that some of our northern kingdom brothers not in the mix because the Bible doesn't give us every little thing. And I don't want to use conjecture, so I just say Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because that's what we know who was scattered to the four corners of the earth. But our northern kingdom brothers and sisters, you have to remember, and me and Sham didn't taught on this. After the Assyrian captivity, the northern kingdom crossed back over the Euphrates River and went into a further country where never mankind dwelt. They went to a place called Osiris. And if you go look up what this is today, it's Algeria, and they also went down to sub-Saharan Africa. You have a lot of Israelites. They live in sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa.
And they went up to Turkey and other parts up there.
Absolutely. So the northern kingdom is spread abroad, just like Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, but they are scattered throughout the continent of Africa. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi is scattered and spread abroad to the four corners.
Right.
He still scattered us. It just, he did it the way he did it. But he still scattered us though. Because we are all, and even you got Judah still scattered throughout Africa in different places.
Right.
So, the Most High did the scattering, bro. He scattered us everywhere. And I want to say this. When you know to do better, you have to do better. A lot of black men and black women, you think that your children is still black because the father or the mother. You are sadly mistaken. Your children are not Israelites. I'm sorry. Your children are a Mongolo breed of people. You can't still call that child an Israelite when the mother is not an Israelite or the father is not an Israelite, and you still gonna say, but it go by the seed of the father. No, your child is not an Israelite because your daddy black. The Bible say your pedigree, Israelite father, Israelite mother, bring forth a Israelite child. Not me sleeping with a Caucasian woman. No, it doesn't work like that. Now, can your children still serve the Most High and learn the words of the Most High? Absolutely. But don't lie and say that these are Israelites, because that's why Guerrilla Hebrew claimed to be an Israelite based on you are what your father is. But look at Guerrilla Hebrew. You think that's an Israelite? You think the dude that fellowship with Tazaryak is an Israelite? Knock it off, man. These are not no Israelites.
They mongrels.
They
Well,
mongrels.
they not even. I don't even think Cockroach a mongrel. I think he's a full-blooded heathen because I seen his daddy. I ain't see his mother. I don't think he is like at all. Well, not even a half-breed.
Right, Sham. The Torah is Hebrew. I agree with you. Because Sham said all the time, just because we all got this melanated skin don't mean that we all are the children of the Most High. We all Israelites because we have melanated skin. Because the sons of Ham got melanated skin. They're not Israelites. You got the original Arabs, they got melanated skin. They not Israelites. You still got the original Edomites that's dwelling small among the heathen. They not Israelites, they Hebrews. Even the children of Moab and the Ammonites. They come from the same stock of Abraham and Lot. But they not Israelites. But they are kinfolks though. See how they work? They are kinfolks. So you still have the original on the earth. You just don't see them because they give you the whitewash version.
Yep. And what the scripture say? And isn't they all the seed of Abraham? But is they all the children of the promise? I tell you, nay. through Isaac shall thy seed be called. So just because all are the seed of Abraham don't mean that all them are the children of the promise. You see what I'm saying, K. Judah?
Absolutely.
And guess what? And all them children of Abraham that came out are Hebrews.
Yep.
But you got Hebrew Ishmaelites. You got Hebrew Edomites.
Facts.
You got Hebrew Israelites.
Talk to them.
You all come from that Shemitic stock. Yep. Yeah, we all are Hebrews in some way, but it depends on what bloodline do you come from. You come from the Hebrew Edomite bloodline, the Hebrew Ishmaelite bloodline, or the Hebrew Israelite bloodline. That's the factor. And that's why people keep getting it wrong, because whenever they see Edom, they say, Edom, brother. Edom is a Hebrew. He spoke Hebrew. Just like Ishmael is a Hebrew. He spoke Hebrew before they started speaking Arabic. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't understand. People, you gotta understand the history. You think Esau speaking to his mother and father. What language did Abraham and Sarah speak, King Judah?
Hebrew.
What language did Israel speak, King Judah?
Hebrew.
What language did Ishmael speak?
Hebrew.
Exactly. And we know that the Arabs changed their culture of language later. So all these people spoke Hebrew. Make it make sense.
Yep, they all spoke Hebrew. And I want to say this. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, when we keep hearing our brothers say that a nation should come up against us whose tongue we should not understand. How can that be Esau when we understood Esau's tongue?
Esau spoke Hebrew. He spoke Hebrew.
He spoke Hebrew. So y'all making Esau the whole European Caucasian race, when this man spoke Hebrew and come from a stock of an Israelite mother and an Israelite father.
Exactly.
Or Hebrew. I don't want to say Israelite. I just say Hebrew because Isaac wasn't an Israelite. Abraham, they Hebrew. So let me just get it right. They come from a Hebrew stock, meaning Rebecca, Hebrew, Isaac, Hebrew, Jacob, Hebrew, Esau, Hebrew. How is this man the Caucasian race? How?
And also remember what you just said, K. Judah, makes perfectly good sense. Said a nation of people will come from you from far, who your fathers have not known, nor their tongue, right?
Talk to him, Sham. Can't be Esau. He was right
talking
there
about.
by us.
Let's talk about a mongrel people, meaning a mixture. If these people come in a mixture of people, or mongrel people, or a mongrel race, who could be out of a bloodline of an Edomite, right? You got to think about it, because the Lord said, "What? I put a foolish people over you, a nothing people." Right? Who do he consider nothing? These castaways, these mongrels. He said, "Kick them out." Who are you? You feel me? People who he don't recognize. Who is not recognized? Bastards, fatherless childs, right? A nothing. That's what he call them, right? Nothing people, castaways, a fatherless child, a bastard, a manzar. They are nothing.
I want to
go ahead.
Sham, I want to ask the black man and black woman today. The Most High said that he did not want us to spar our seed or mix our seed, but y'all say love is love. So if love is love, why do something that is love have to be forced on you?
Mm-hmm.
Why do interracial relationships have to be forced on you if love is love? If love is love, why did y'all call it iniquity? Sin. See, people don't want to deal with the reality that you are mixing your seed for your children to have this curly, wavy hair. You know, a lot of black people got they got color problems. You know, they do everything based on color, based on the texture of the hair. Gotta be light skinned. Yeah, we still do that thing among each other. Don't you know how dumb you sound?
Hey Judah, can you read that Psalms 83? I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
He's saying many of them are descendants of Esau. That's not true. That's talking about all different nations. All the nations that's on there, it's not Esau.
Oh, yeah, Pedro, we here to help you, brother. We're not trying to come at you. So
that's not true.
Yeah, that's not true what you're saying, though. The Psalms 83 nations, like Sham is telling you, and I'm about to read it. They make up different nations, my brother. Esau was named
different
first.
nations.
Yeah, different nations.
And we can break it down for you until I can tell you majority of who the nations is on there.
Do that for him, Sham, as I read it. Just stop me as you need me to stop.
Okay.
Okay. This is Psalms 83 in verse 1. And it reads, keep not thy silence, O Elohim. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Elohim. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom.
Right. So when you looking at the tabernacles of Edom, that's talking about the bloodline of the Edomites or the pure-blooded Edomites. Okay. His children. Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites, the Arabs. Okay. Or I ain't gonna even say the Arabs today, but they call them the so-called Arabs because you do have the mixture one, the mongrel ones. But the Arabs, meaning, we like to deal with the original, but we know that they're not the face of society today. So we're going to go off what's in the United Nations. So you got the so-called Arabs that's representing the Arabic nation, which is the Ishmaelites, which would be the Arabs. Go ahead.
Of Moab.
Moab. Moab is another dark-skinned black nation, which is the children of Lot, which is not the Chinese. The Moab is not the Chinese, but they're a Shemitic nation or Hebrew nation, just like the Edomites, which is Hebrews. Go ahead.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes are also Arabic nation as well, because Hagar seed line married with Abraham, and they was Arabs as well. That's where the Hagarenes come from. Hagar. Go ahead.
That's facts. Everything you're saying is facts. Gabal.
I believe that's a African nation.
And Ammon.
The Ammonites, the Hebrew Ammonites, is another Hebrew nation, and you notice it's Hebrew nations in here that's against one Hebrew nation as well. It's just not other nations, because Edom is Hebrews, Ammon is Hebrew, Moab is Hebrew. Why? Because they from Lot. Lot is a Hebrew. Okay, they are Hebrew Ammonites and Hebrew Moabites, the children of incest that come out of our bloodline. Go ahead.
And Amalek.
Amalek comes from who? The children of Japhet. Correct, K. Judah?
No, I think Amalek come from Edom. You remember when they were supposed to kill all the Amalekites?
Okay, right. Okay. So they are stock from the Edomites. Okay.
They're stock from the Edomites. But Pedro's saying majority of these people derived from Esau is not true.
No, that's not true.
Let me keep
These
going.
are different nations.
What about the Philistines? They don't come from Esau.
Right. The Philistines is an African nation.
Talk to them. Facts. With the inhabitants of Tyre, African nation.
Tyre, Zidon, African nation.
Facts. Assyria.
Mm-hmm.
Also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot.
I think Assur is a Shemitic nation.
They are. You're right. No, Sham, you're right. Assur, because you remember Shem had a son named Arphaxad.
Mm-hmm.
And they was called Assur, which is the Assyrians.
I'm trying to remember all this because it's been so long since I actually dealt with Psalms 83.
Yeah, I'll be doing the same thing. But Assur, Shem's children was dwelling in that territory. It's in the book of Josephus. It tell you this. about a Shar and a Foxhead and Shem's children and where they was dwelling at, and they was dwelling in Assyria. That's why he called it Shar. But he said Shar is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, meaning they have helped the children of Lot. He say, do unto them unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon. There you go, brother. And the rest of this is just, but those are the nations, and they don't make up majority of Edom, brother.
Nope.
They don't. They don't make a majority of Edom because Philistines don't come from Edom. Tyre and Sidon don't come from Edom. The Hagarenes don't come from Edom. The Ishmaelites don't come from Edom. Moab don't come from Edom. And the Ammonites don't come from Edom. Edom and the Amalekites, those are the only two that was mentioned that come from Edom, because the Amalekites are the same people that Shar was supposed to wipe out, but he did not listen. So we don't even supposed to be seeing no Amalekites today. So Amalek come from Edom.
And remember, he said the tabernacles of Edom, right? What is a tabernacle? What was a tabernacle in Israel? It should be the same thing with Edom. It's the setup and how they set up the structure. You see what I'm saying? So we talk about the structure of these Edomites and the way that they built their fortress and how they run things. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we talking about this the small Edomite bloodline. So it could include his mongrel mixed out children as well. You see what I'm saying? Well, no matter what, all of them are against us.
Right. They're all against us. And I agree with you, Yohanan. He say, after idolatry and serving of the gods, I believe mixing the holy seed is one of the greatest sins as a people. And that's why they push interracial relationships, Johannan.
It is. And I said that. I told you how long have I been saying that mixing the holy seed is worse than the act of homosexuality? It's because you cannot go back. You can't turn back from it once you have a child. You stuck with it forever. You can stop doing the act of sodomy and homosexuality, but you can't not give back that child that you made.
You can't.
That's why the Lord said what? It'll be what against you? It'll be trials against you in your judgment. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't, you mixed out your bloodline. You defiled your seed line. That's worse than being a sodomite.
And man, we ain't trying to look, man.
We ain't trying to be funny.
Right. No, you good, Sham. I'm talking about the mixed people. Look, man, we're not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. We not trying to be like vicious or trying to hurt nobody. We just speaking truth. And the truth hurt. We just speaking truth. The truth hurt because our people know that they shouldn't be mixing a seed. Even after they do it, a lot of them don't even feel right in their relationships. If something is pure and magical and supposed to happen naturally, why is so much pain and hurt come with being in these relationships? Why you can't just live your life and thrive? Because y'all don't want you doing it. That's why. You are messing up your children. Don't you know how many TikTok videos of mixed children crying on TikTok because their white mother is a racist? Asking their father, why did you get with this Caucasian woman? Why it had to be mixed? You confusing your children, man. And you're doing them a disservice because it's not their fault the way they was born. Y'all still created them. But at the end of the day, you causing these problems in your children's life. Because they don't know where they fit in at. That ain't cool.
Even when the little boy said, I want to be black. I don't want to be white. Told his mother that. And she was like, why you want to be black? Because it's cool. He was crying, little white boy. I don't know if he was mixed, but he said he didn't want to be white. I'll tell you that.
Look, man, me and my brother here is only to speak the truth. The truth hurt, and I know some people may get offended because we say we shouldn't be mixing. The Most High never wanted us to mix, but we're going to speak the truth. We're not going to sugarcoat our words for feelings because then we're going to get in trouble. So we got to say what the scriptures say. He did not want us mixing the holy seed with the nations. Even Johannan, my brother just put from the book of Jubilees. If we marry of the Gentiles, It is an abomination. Man, let me look at this. Jubilees 30 and 13. And it is a reproach to Israel, to those who live, and to those that take the daughters of the Gentiles, meaning the nations. For this is unclean and abominable to Israel. He take this very serious, man. Look what he said he gonna do. And Israel would not be free from this uncleanness if it has a wife of the daughters of the Gentiles, or has given any of his daughters to a man who is of any of the Gentiles. We're gonna get in trouble.
Now, okay, Judah, look at it like this too, right? Sodomy is an abomination. He just told you and said what? Mixing is an abominable. Same thing. What do the Lord hate? 7 things do the Lord do hate. What? Yea, 6 be what? Unto him abomination. So he hate race mixing because he hates abomination. And race mixing is an abominable. So he hate this just as much as you being a sodomite. You see what I'm saying, KJ? There's no difference.
There's no difference, Sham. What you saying is facts, brother. And Sham, let me ask you a question, and the audience. If the Most High don't even like wool and linen to mix, seeds to mix, animals to mix, why would he want you to mix?
Exactly. Tell you separate your crops. Put your grapes over here. Put your oranges over here. Put your potatoes over here. Separate it. He ain't say throw it all in the same field. Mix it all up together. Next thing you know, you got a potato plant exactly right next to the grape plant and the orange plant in the middle, and all these plants all over the place, and you can't even, nothing separated. Everything just mixed all up. Don't even make sense.
That's all we got, brother. Me and my brother Sham, because I know my brother got to get up. This was beautiful. I'm glad it went this long so we can answer questions. Pedro, we still love you, brother. Just some, minor disagreements. But me and Sham is here to answer your questions. We may not disagree on it. We may not agree on everything. But at the end of the day, brother, Edom does not make up majority of the people in Psalms 83. Those was different nations and different stocks of people. But Esau was in there with Amalek, but he don't make up the Philistines. He don't make up the Hagarenes, because Sham, that's true what he said. The Hagarenes are also an Arab people with the Ishmaelites. These are Hagarenes, Ishmaelites too, because I did the research and it said the Hagarenes also come from the stock of the Ishmaelites. So, brother, we pray people got understanding. Like I said before, it would behoove you, Israel, to find you an Israelite woman and find your Israelite man and have you some babies that can be profitable for Yah and be used for Yah. Used for his service. And that's just what we have. But I believe it's going to be a black pope. Sham believe it's going to be a black pope. I believe we're at the time of the end to where this thing finna really pop off. Get your house in order. Make sure you have your water, your food, rice, everything, canned goods, because this thing going to get ugly, and it's going to get ugly fast, and it's never going to go back. And time is just going to be moving quickly. So Go ahead, Sham. Anything you got? Oh, he say, hold on. Our brother Pedro said, interracial marriages are unnatural and they just don't work. And the children are too often confused with identity problems. Absolutely facts, Pedro. And me and Sham did plenty messages just trying to warn our people and let them know, stop doing this. And they even doing this within the Israelite awakening, because you giving your Israelite daughter to a Mexican, your son to a Mexican, your daughter to an Hispanic, your son to an Hispanic, your son to a Native American. Like, you mixing your seed even within the awakening and causing mass confusion and problems. Like, this thing is just took a turn for the worse, man. I'm just keeping it real. I love this awakening. A lot of good brothers and sisters. But when you look at the doctrine that's being pushed, it is despicable. It's despicable, man.
Judah, not only that, bro, but look how many of them brothers is going to get sent to the hellfire for teaching that lie, that 12 chop chart and pushing mixing. You know how many people you getting in trouble and basically pushing abominable work that's against the Most High Yah
Against the
laws.
Most High.
That's
Facts.
why I try to tell people, man, you got to stop because you are doing more damage than. That's what you notice for years. I've been kept saying that the 12 tribe chart is the biggest stumbling block and this is the worstest thing that could have ever happened to the nation of Israel because
Yep.
the 12 tribe chart is nothing but pushing sin. That's why I kept saying it. The Most High kept telling me over and over. He just give me all this information, and I realized that, bro, that's the worstest thing that I ever done. Was on the street corners teaching that for 8 years. That was not good at all.
But you repented, just like I had to correct myself with Obadiah, because we don't mind correcting ourselves, brother. You know, we humble enough to say, I made a mistake. And you confess that you made a mistake and you changed from that mistake. Look at the men who never going to change from the mistakes, that the lies they've been teaching. They still teaching that 12 tribe chart until this day. You came out of it because you love the Most High and you want to do right by the Most High. These Negroes don't even care about doing right by the Most High. They still lying, telling our people, well, if you can't get a black woman, get an Hispanic woman, get a Mexican woman, get a Native American. That's a lie. That's a lie. You're going to spoil your seed. Because Mexicans are not Israelites. Hispanics are not Israelites. Native Americans are not Israelites. These people are not our people. They don't come from our stock. They don't come from our bloodline. They don't come from our lineage. They are not us. Are you serious? Hispanics? Mexicans are us? Knock it off, bro. Issachar and Judah had the same mama. So why we still look like this and then Issachar look like a European Caucasian man? So the whole tribe of Issachar just been wiped out. Like, cut it out, man. Stop it. Anything else you got, Sham, before we get up out of here, my beloved brother?
That's it, man. Most High bless everybody. I love y'all. Let me take my tail to sleep, but yeah. That's an excellent lesson. This was an excellent lesson, brother. I appreciate it always, man. I had so much fun tonight. I ain't gonna lie.
Me too, brother. Me too.
I enjoyed myself. I love y'all, man. Most High bless.
Love you too, my brother, man. I love swinging the sword, my brother, man. But like we said, family, we love y'all, and we pray somebody got some understanding. I'm telling y'all, in the coming weeks, months, whenever they choose this pope, we're not going to be shocked. We already believe it's going to be one of these two black popes. I'm leaning more towards Peter Turkson, but I still got to find out because I can't prophesy anything. I'm not a prophet. So I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, it's going to be Peter Turkson. But me and Sham is leaning towards him because of how Sham explained it. We just leaning towards him, but we got to see how it's going to play out. So, Hondo, big salute, brother. So I love y'all. Notorious, big salute, my sister. I love y'all, Sister Eve, Yohanan, Essential Growth, Pedro, Oracle. I can't name everybody, but all our beloved family in the chat, the whole family, the whole Israelite community. I love y'all, family. Even though we got our brothers who don't teach right, I'm not here to hate you. I just wish you change and start teaching right. Stop lying to our people. Like somebody came in the chat and told me they heard that Ethiopia is the promised land. I did plenty of lessons on this. I proved that Ethiopia is not Jerusalem. It's not our homeland. That so-called Middle East that everybody despises, that's our homeland. From east to west. That's what the book say. That's what I'm going by. I can prove it. Anybody want to talk to me about it? Bring your Bible. Make sure you got your maps. Because I understand these maps very good. And I know how to decipher the lies between the truth. So I'll talk to anybody about it. But Ethiopia is not our homeland. Egypt is not our homeland. South Africa is not our homeland. North Africa is not our homeland. West Africa. No, you're coming out of all these places when he gather you. He's bringing you back to your homeland. So the so-called Middle East that people despise, you'll find out one day where you're going, and it won't be to where Ham's children at. It's going to be that so-called Middle East. And I say big salute to the family and many blessings.
Family all around me. Family all around me. My family. she my family, he my family, she my family, he my family, she my family, we are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. Nah, I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. They talking, you listen, that's family. They don't tell your business, that's family. They calling your phone, coming looking for you. They say that you missing, that's family. They don't need permission, that's family. When you hurt, they can feel it, that's family. Let them come while you're cheering, that's family. Let them come when you living, that's family. Family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family, he my family, she my family, he my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family, he my family, she my family, he my family, she my family. We are family. Hey, ain't nobody fighting around here. Ain't nobody shooting around here. Everybody that's around here, family. All love, no hate, be clear. No shade, all love, be real. You love them, you should know how it feel. Tired of all these badass kids. Tired of paying all these bills. Family going through the same thing, so they know exactly how you feel. They supply a shoulder I can cry. I provide a place where they can heal. Leave my money out, they don't steal. Let them have it if it's for a bill. Soldier for me when they in the field. Only way I live, family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family, he my family, she my family, he my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family, he my family, she my family, he my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. Family all around me.
Hey, Israel, we rising up, family. In the words of my beloved sister August Dreams, thank y'all for coming to the Lion's Den with the CUC family, the FOPE family, and all my beloved brothers and sisters in the chat. Let's get it. And your brother Kjudah and my brother Sham want to say Shalom to the mighty nation of Israel. And look up, family, because your redemption draw nigh. Salute.